Same old, man. Just working hard, busy as all can be, loving life.
Oh, that's the goal. I bought that. I use that Baja Rot, whatever the Baja Rot.
The Bahawat, yeah.
Yeah, right after I watched your YouTube, I went on Amazon, bought it, and today is day one. I like it.
Yeah.
It smells very Middle Eastern.
It is. Yeah, it's straight up Mediterranean. The dude's very Middle Eastern like, and that black seed oil it's very pungent. So it kind of has that Mediterranean type scent to it, almost like it kind of smells like taco seasoning almost.
It reminded me of I lived in Manama, Bahrain for a year. It reminded me of like the souk.
Yeah.
You lived in Bahrain for a year?
Yeah, in Manama. Yeah.
Oh shit, mate! I grew up in Oman.
All right.
And I used to go to Bahrain every year to play rugby, like at least
I
twice
love
a year.
Bahrain. Oh, that's such a beautiful, cool country.
You know what we loved the most about Bahrain? It was the only place in the Middle East that had a fish and chip shop, an actual proper British.
They had American Alley.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, that's what the Bahawat reminds me of. It reminds me of almost like the mall in Manama. It smells like that too, just that incense and all those real earthy.
I love that.
I love it. I was actually really surprised by the smell because I'd never used the black seed oil. I didn't even know about it until I learned about it from you.
What's the name of that company? Sorry.
Bahawat.
Yeah, Bahawat, BAHA something. I don't know. I don't spell.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I had to look it up to remember the name.
I'm just typing in Baha Beard and
BAHAWAT.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah, it's $15 for 2 ounces. That's really good. I didn't even look at it. When I got it today from Amazon, I was like, holy shit, this is a 2-ounce bottle.
Yeah, and black seed oil's the most expensive carrier oil that I've worked with personally, so it's not cheap.
You know, I haven't watched it yet, but I saw you put a video up on black seed oil.
Yeah,
man. Like, I need to look at that. I need to look at it.
It's
mainly because my surname is Black, so if I'm going to use an oil,
yeah,
it's got to be black seed oil. You know?
Yeah, it's a good one. I love it. The history, super cool. I always break down like history and stuff, and I'm a history teacher, and so like right now I'm teaching about, we just finished the ancient Egyptians, and they found black seed oil, not just black seed, but actual black seed oil in King Tut's tomb.
Oh shit,
that's rad.
Yeah, and the Middle Eastern people love it, especially Muslims, because the Prophet Muhammad talked about it all the time. It's all in their scriptures and literature and stuff. So for them, it's almost like a sacred oil.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I never heard of it until recently.
Dude, well, I literally grew up in the Middle East for 10 years as a child, and I speak fuck all Arabic. I speak like shwe Arabi. I say shwe Arabi, and I know a bit about the culture, but for living there for 10 years, I know an embarrassing amount about the culture. But all I know is that I loved it there. I loved it.
Military family or what?
Oil.
Oil, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the military's there, so it kind of counts.
Yeah.
I used to protect oil rigs.
Friends growing up, they were either oil or military, and same thing.
Dude, the model on the Amazon Bahawat site is Ben Hassan, the dude from I know him. I just looked at that.
Is he from Florida?
No, he's from Sweden.
Oh, I don't know him then.
Yeah, he's got a. That's weird. I was like, I know that face. Nope, I don't know. That was a random sidetrack. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I'm at work. It's a weird day.
Man, it is 2 a.m. over here.
Yeah, his name is Ben.
Cool.
Killer mustache.
Yeah.
He has a good mustache. Dude's got a solid beard.
That is a mustache and a half.
I wonder if he knows he's on there.
It's possible that he doesn't.
Amazon.
Like
what?
Like it's possible that he doesn't know that he's on there. Like
I think that happens like quite often. Like,
mate, there's a lot of guys who've done like photo shoots that have like great beards, and it's on like Getty Images or on
Right.
like,
Yeah, it's true.
they have
They-
no idea. They have no idea.
Yeah, a lot of them buy the rights too. Like if they sell it out to these like photo banks and stuff, so they just kind of give up their rights to it. Most of these companies like own shared photo banks, so they're a legit company. I would assume that he knows. I would doubt. I would be. I've been surprised before, but I would be surprised if they were just taking images.
Yeah, I doubt they would be. I mean, I'm a brand new startup, and I'm making sure I'm covering those bases. I don't want to get fucked with that stuff.
For sure.
It's not worth it.
yeah, totally.
So I'm at work. I'm trying to got to pay them Christmas present bills.
Oh yeah, I know that, man. Hey, listen. This year, we've cancelled Christmas. We're doing Secret Santa. It's like one present for one person. COVID-19's happened. Listen, we're all broke. Let's just do it. Secret Santa. It's so much easier.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So Dan, I was talking to Adrian recently, and he wanted me to ask you, what's one word that people would use to describe you?
One word that people would use to describe me? Whew. Man, depends who you're talking to, but I would probably say dedicated. That's probably the number one thing that I think comes off, and most people, whether they like me or hate me, can agree that I'm dedicated. 2.5 years, I've never missed an upload. I've never missed a live stream, no matter if it's been sickness, injuries, vacation. I mean, I did my Monday live stream from Disney, literally. So I would say the epitome of dedication. I love what I do, and I put everything into it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's definitely
Nice.
like, it's always cool to see like you just like every day, or like you're always up like making videos, like grinding, putting in work. Definitely.
No, it shows. You've
sure.
You've absolutely doubled my beard knowledge. I've had a beard like 10 years, and I've learned more in like the last like 90 days than I have in almost a decade of having some form of facial hair.
That's
Now,
awesome.
Now I'm just going for the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
I second that 100%. Like, I mean, for me, the last 12 years of my life, I've been dedicated to one industry, and that's hospitality. And as soon as COVID happened, I adapted quick, and I was like, I need to do something new, and it's going to be something I enjoy. And I decided to dedicate my time to the beard industry. And everything I've learned, I've learned so many new skills, and it's all been from YouTube. Everything's been from YouTube. And Dan, like, you are one of the people, honestly, like when I went on YouTube, I watched what you're doing and watched what you've talked about, and like your tutorial videos, your instructional videos, and you're like, when you review things, it's been a massive source of inspiration for me. And I just have to say, fucking awesome, mate. Absolutely awesome.
Thank you,
great.
guys. Yeah.
Well, the non-biased
one of the
thing is
people
pretty rad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
awesome.
you. I always think in the big picture, right? It's for me, I always say I'm not going to be tripping over dollars to get to pennies. And I think a lot of guys miss that. And they have pressure to say things, to do things. And I just, no, I have no interest in that. I'm here for the long game. And so everything I'm going to try and do, at least to my best ability, to the right way. And so it's super important. And I've been fully obsessed with this stuff for a long time, and I've had unbelievable opportunities of experience and ability to learn. So I've been very fortunate in that regard. So it's just nice to have an outlet to be able to put all of that into.
Yeah. But I totally get. I mean, for me, like I'm way like down the chain of like kind of the journey you've gone on. Like, I mean, I've got so many questions for you I want to ask you during this podcast. I think it's great to be able to speak to you finally. And I'm on a very early stage of the journey you've taken. And for me, so far, my journey's been great. I've loved every second of it. And I mean, Jordan and Adam here are like two perfect examples of my favorite parts of this journey. The main thing I've loved about it is I've made some amazing friends and met some amazing people. But one of the things I wanted to ask is like, so how did you start it? But what's been your like inspiration to like keep going? You know, those days when you're like, you're tired You're like, shit, I've got to upload something. I need to do something. What's that inspiration? What's that thing that keeps you going and makes you just want to do it?
Yeah. So how I got started, I'll go there first and then kind of go into the inspiration one. So like I said, I've been obsessed with beards for a long time. I've had a beard for like 13 years of some shape. I've been down to stubble. I've rocked a medium beard for a long time. I had a shorter beard. And so I loved it. I'm a person that likes to study things. And so when I would look up things, I made kind of a big presence on Reddit. They had a sub forum for beards. And so I started like posting my like pictures, and they're like, hey, how'd you get your mustache like that? I'm like, oh, that's a cool question. Yeah, here's what I do. Hey, how'd you get your morning routine? I'm like, oh, thanks for asking, guys. Here's what I did. And so I started to build up kind of a name on there, and met companies like Fable, who I'm still really closely aligned with. I had met them, Colin, the owner, on Reddit before I created a channel, before he created a company, and kind of grew from there. And then I started watching videos, started getting involved in the community. And one day I was watching a video at my kitchen table. It was in the summer, and my wife came over. She was like rubbing my shoulders, and she was like, you watch these videos all the time. I'm like, I know, I love it. And she was like, you should try making them. I think you'd be good at them. And that was all I needed. I was like, oh, you think I'd be good at this? All right, let's try it. And so we had a camera that she had like been given as like a gift, and I set up a tripod in the kitchen on a kitchen table, used the window as lighting and no mic, anything. And I just filmed my intro video. And from like day one, I was like, what can I bring that's different? Because there were guys that existed already, right? Everybody knew Scuba, everybody knew George Bruno, all these things. And I was like, I think I have the unique angle of being a teacher. I think I have the unique, because at that point I'd already been teaching for like 8 years. And it was really successful at that, and all this, loved it. And then I was like, I also have I'm a big family man. And I think that can be an angle. You don't really see that too much. And so I could kind of bring that into it, bring the female perspective. I'd never seen anybody that brought a woman into beard videos to say like their perspective on stuff. And I was like, I think this will be good. I also think my wife's gorgeous, so that will help like the thumbnails. And so people will click on these things. And so it was all planned out. And then I kind of just executed it from there. And kind of the second one, like when you're like tired and what's your inspiration? And this is not cliche. This is not me just talking. It's true. I've literally never had a day like that. I'm a weirdly wired human where I wake up and I have to like scale myself back. My wife has to like, hey, like slow down, like don't be too much. Like for me, it's not about like how much I can get out. I have to be like, all right, I can't be too out there. I can't be too available. You know, sometimes people get sick of people. So I have to like tone myself back. I've got lists and lists of video ideas, and I'm always ready. So my inspiration is I just have a weird obsessive personality, and this is my thing now. I've had different things in life. Like I was unbelievably obsessed with metal detecting for years.
I love that. To an expensive, dangerous level. I mean, I would. But it can have a return on investment if you get the
absolutely.
Right place.
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff that does, and it's similar to this, right? If you're good at it, you can get a return on the investment and stuff.
Exactly.
I was majorly into that, but the difference there was that was taken away from my family. If I wanted to do a metal detecting thing, it had to be during the day. You couldn't go do it at night, especially I live one exit from Flint, Michigan. If anybody's familiar with Flint, Michigan, it's considered like murder capital of the country. Like we have awful crime rates and all this stuff, and lead poisoning and everything you can imagine. And so for me, I had to go during the day. It's kind of dangerous at the same time. But I loved it, but it would take like 12 hours. So I wouldn't see my kids that day. I wouldn't see my wife that day. And it was my thing. So I didn't have a problem kind of doing that. But I was like, the more I got into it, I wanted to find something. Well, I came on at 9 o'clock because my family's all passed out. Like they're asleep. All my kids, my wife, I do all my work on my time. I sleep a lot less, but that's okay. I don't necessarily need that. So I was obsessed with Pokemon Go for a long time. Me and if you guys know the mayor who I do my live streams with, That's how we met, was through Pokemon Go, and we teach together now and stuff, and have the channel together. So I have a very obsessive personality, and then this luckily is one that's very healthy for me and gives back.
Yeah, it definitely helps the community, because it's a legit community here.
Yeah.
It's something that amazes me almost every day. Is how tight and small it actually is. I mean, even though like 90% of men can grow just beards, but there's something palpable to it. It's pretty special. It's kind of it's nothing I even knew existed when I first started growing.
Nobody does. Yeah.
I got out of the Navy and I was like, I'm never shaving again, motherfucker. That was like my philosophy. I was like, I would never shave again. This is freedom.
Yeah.
And then like people like will just come up to you and go, hey, it's a cool beard. And then you're like, I've made so many friends randomly at the grocery store just because I have a beard. It's a pretty amazing thing.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's like, I mean, and that kind of leads me on to like really well, like another question. I mean, I was going to say, like, what does having a beard mean to you? And it perfectly leads on to this. It's like, it really is one of those things. Like, I've got a beard and I walk past people in the street and you just walk past them. But then you walk past someone who also has a beard and you're like, just like, what's up, bro? There's something there, isn't it? And I can't put a finger on it. I can't quantify it. I can't explain it. There's something there that it's like, what's up, bro? You know what I mean?
It's an icebreaker. Like I'm real introverted. I've got some like anxiety issues and whatnot. And my beard is like kind of like my blankie, to be honest with you. It's a legit icebreaker. Like
Totally.
you walk taller and prouder. It's kind of but like when I was in college, I used my GI Bill, so I went late. I'd already lived a life, and so I was in my late 20s, and I went to college, and I had a beard, and it was easier to talk in front of people. Like I just felt older, and like gnarlier.
Yeah.
And so it makes my life easier all the time. And my wife loves it, which is like the win of all wins.
That's a win. That's a win.
Yeah, especially when the beard's purposeful, right? You can see some guys, and I mean, if you see one of us and somebody see it, be like, oh wow, that guy clearly cares about his beard, and you can kind of have that conversation, and that opens the door for like men and women. Like I can't tell you how many times before like COVID mask, of course, where I'd go to the counter and the lady would be like, I normally don't like beards, but I like how you keep yours up and stuff like that, and it just starts a conversation, and I keep
on a serious note, how many times have you been on a night out and a girl just says, oh, I love your beard, and touches it without asking permission? No permission, just I love your beard, and touches it. I'm sorry, but if this was the other way around, and I just said, oh, I love your bum, and I touch your bum, like, I'm sorry, I'm getting arrested.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. No, it's like a walking billboard, and I do it. It's like an icebreaker. My wife has like a shirt shop, for our channel, and one of our most popular shirts is "Smell My Beard." If you're out on the town and you're trying to find a significant other, there's no better icebreaker for a bearded man than a shirt that says "Smell My Beard." Like that instantly starts conversations. It really does.
That's really cool. If it wasn't, I would have loaded up on your shop by now. If it wasn't Christmas, like come like late January, it's on.
Yeah.
After my son's birthday.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
OT out. So that was a hit, but well, I'm here now though.
Yep.
But it's I guess to your point, Dan, is people, it takes a lot. Like it's a lot longer to get this like work. I work for a Fortune 500 company, corporate. Like I see by VPs. I'm kind of haggard now. It's Friday. I'm another one in the building, but I have to get away with a lot. So you recommended a really good wax I got. I don't remember the name. I'll probably find it, but it was like probably 3 episodes ago. It was like had just enough wax to keep the Irish pennants from flying.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Andy. You know what I mean. But I know you're a Scot, but it breaks norms. Like we don't look homeless, and so I think when people have this natural belief that beards are dirty or for
Yeah.
unkempt humans. So when they see a nice one, they know it takes work.
Mhm.
And so, and then for meeting girls, for you single gentlemen, it's best because it's like you're waving your flag. Like they see it, they like it. You got nothing to worry about. There's nothing like, are you growing that out?
Right,
know,
right.
It's totally true. I mean, I'll give you. I mean, I'm single. I went on a date yesterday, and the first thing was the girl was like, "You've got a great beard, but I can see you take care of it. It looks really like shaped and good and nice, and like usually I don't like guys with beards, but yours looks really nice." And it's like, it doesn't actually take that much effort. It just takes it's about consistency and maintaining it and making sure it's about understanding your own beard. Like everyone's beard's different. Like some guys have like super curly beards, thick beards. Like mine, I'm lucky that mine's quite straight, and when I use a straightener, it looks really conditioned and good. But if I let it grow for a week, it looks crazy messy. And it's about making sure that like if I every morning I've got my routine now. I mean everyone's routine is different. I mean I've got a few videos on morning routines. But all I can do is talk about my morning routine, like what I do and how it works well. But one thing I always tell people is like, just try different things. Go for trial and error. What works for you? What works for you and your beard? And you'll figure it out eventually. And it'll just make it look maintained and good because it's so easy to just grow a beard and you'll look like a caveman, like an absolute caveman. If you know how to condition it well, it's a compliment to you and your facial structure. It looks great, you know.
We got to make that point too. Like if, like I always like before you know, if I've got a good hunch that I might see my wife, you know, naked. I do the full clean scrub, like, because I know it's going to be on things, and so it's like a mutual respect issue at that point. But
yeah, nah, totally true.
work. I'm sorry, I'm just tagging through.
So I was
a whole bunch of people remotely.
I was actually, Dan, I was going to ask you. So obviously, so me, Jordan, and Adam all came from the same background. We all started off as a beard journey, and we joined the beard struggle. And I think quite quickly we all started to realize that we wanted to try other products, and it wasn't received very well. So we decided to go our own ways, which is fine, no problem. You know, we did our own thing. And I think all three of us now have tried so many different beard products. I mean, I think Adam, you've tried a lot from the US. Jordan, you've tried a load from Canada. I've
got at least 15
tried
different oils
loads from the UK. Yeah, I've tried loads from the UK, and I mean, I love what the UK has to offer. I think the beard scene here is really developing. There's some great products and great companies. But for you, I mean, it'd be great to hear like what's your from the companies you've tried in the UK, Canada, and US. Which one's your favorite from which areas? It'd be really cool to hear.
Yeah, so for me, I've tried them from all over the world. You name it, I've tried from South America, I've tried from Asia, I've tried from Europe, Canada, US, Mexico. If there's a beard company, Australia, I've had like 4 or 5 different companies from Australia. Actually, really good. Most of them are crap from there, but there was one really good one called The Groomed Man. They got some really good products. Yeah, they're very, very good stuff. So the main experience that I have had is the U.S. has the, not necessarily the low, because everyone confuses this and they say the U.S. has lower regulations than the rest of the world. That's not true. They have a lower barrier of entry than everywhere else. When you go in Canada, when you go in the UK, when you're in Australia, there are many more hoops you have to jump through to get your company going.
Trust me, I know about this.
Yeah, same. And I don't usually go around like bragging. Yeah, I don't usually go around bragging about this, but like my main income is I'm a consultant for companies. So I help companies all over the world, and a lot of it is the laws. Like I know the laws and the regulations as well as anybody that's out there. And so it's interesting to see. So in the US, it really doesn't take much at all. You can fly under the radars for as long as you want. That doesn't mean you're being legal, though, right? There's a ton of regulations, but in the U.S., they don't come up unless you're a problem. So let's say you're not following the proper fragrance guidelines of the RFA and doing all these different things, then nobody cares because it's so small. Or if you're stealing copyright material, nobody cares because you're so small.
No one gives a fuck.
What happens is if something, let's say somebody has a reaction to your product in the U.S. and they bring it up and this gets up to the FDA, you are now gone and you have lost all your money. You are now bankrupt, and hopefully
and you're also in debt. You're also in debt as well. Because you have to pay them for that stuff, you know?
Right. And so hopefully you took the right way and you got the LLC and you have the insurance, but if they're not doing it the right way, they probably didn't do that anyway, even though I've got videos about that. But so the barrier of entry is much, much less. It costs nothing to start a company in the US. In the UK, the regulations are actually very similar. There's not a whole lot of differences. There's a couple ingredients here. There's some fragrance laws, but almost entirely they're the same. The only difference is you almost have to prove that to enter the market in the UK and in Australia and in Canada, as opposed to the US where they say just don't mess up and we won't look at you, kind of thing. And you can actually be very large and not get in trouble. I've corrected the largest company in the United States of America because they had their labels were breaking the law and they didn't even realize it, but they were in Target. They were in multiple large stores, and they didn't even realize that their advertising went against the FDA regulation for cosmetics. But that just goes to show you how big you can get, and they just don't look in the U.S. right now. Now, things are slowly changing. There was just a bill that was passed in California, which is our most like liberal state. So they have like the harshest regulations.
Yeah, my home state right there.
And so there was just a bill that was passed 2 weeks ago, and that's got some wheels turning. So we'll see what happens with that. And everyone just keeps saying it's come. So the main difference I've seen is that barrier of entry to be able to get into the market. Now, once you're in the market, the difference is with that low barrier of entry, the U.S. has so much more creativity, so much more room to be able to try things and do things. And it's a risk, right? That leads to a bunch of garbage. There's some awful companies out there that don't know what they're doing, and it's pretty scary what they could be doing to people. I've had conditioners get moldy. I've had fragrances that should not be used on any part of your body at the level they were at. So, I mean, I've seen it all. But at the same time, the ones that do know what they're doing, the ones that do have a talent for this, they're able to thrive much more and have much more opportunity in the U.S. So as a whole, I've tried the best companies for me by far have been in the U.S. The companies that I've tried that have been really good in Canada, UK, Australia are very, very polished. And that's good to see because you almost have to be. For example, like in the UK, I've had some pretty bad experiences in the UK actually, but my favorite company that I've had from the UK is Seven Potions, and that's no like hidden like secret from me. They're just done really well. They don't have some outlandish scent profile or selection of scents, but everything they make is so good, absolutely so good. They're working on some new products right now that I'm kind of working with them on, and so it's pretty exciting. But one of them just hasn't been possible because of the different regulations, and especially when it comes to shipping. The UK has shipping laws that are different than the US. In terms of getting the product to the final destination in a certain way. And we don't have that here. It's all about how it leaves it leaves the facility. And so that's been interesting on this journey. If you're talking about something like beard butter, which can melt along the way they've got all these regulations. So for me, the pool in the U.S. is so large for good or for bad. You just have to kind of know what you're looking for. And the best of the best elsewhere have just been really polished, done really well, in my experience at least.
One of the things with the UK at the moment is it's just about to get so much more complicated because England, Wales and Ireland and Scotland at the moment have decided to leave the European Union.
Never heard of that.
So the European Union is it's basically Europe wants to be America. We want to try and make the European Union into everything. Yeah, exactly. Kind of Europe, the United States of Europe, almost.
Right. Like one currency, no barriers, all of that stuff.
Pretty much. So it was all going to plan until we decided to be assholes and vote against it and leave the European Union. So I've just spent a lot of money with my products getting them, it's called CPSR testing, cosmetic product safety rating reviewed. So all my stuff is safe and legal to be sold all over the European Union. You have to go through a lot. The main thing is, as you said, the scent profiles. The carrier oils and the base products are pretty much safe, no matter where you go.
Right.
As long as the company you're using has their IFRA stuff done, and also they're recording batch, like they're batch producing their stuff and they're recording it, you're good.
Exactly.
But the actual fragrance profiles are the hard ones, because those are the most toxic, those are the most damaging to your skin, and those are the ones you need to be really careful with. So you need to make sure you're using not only the right fragrances, but the right quantity of fragrances, because if you're using too much of a certain fragrance, it can be really damaging to your skin underneath your beard. So right now, I'm safe, legal, compliant. However, the UK is on the way out of the European Union, and obviously it's not their biggest priority. Cosmetic products, their biggest priorities are like, finance and military and all this stuff. Yeah, like real shit. But I know that later on down the line, I'm going to have to do a lot more work to make sure that my products are safe and legal and good to use. But one thing I have noticed in the UK is there are so many companies that are just cowboys. They don't get safe tested. They don't get reviewed. They don't get they're not safe and legal. And the problem with that is these companies may think they are, because they'll be paying for business insurance, like public liability insurance. But that is null and void if they don't have the correct safety procedures done with their products. So they're basically wasting money, and you don't have a clue what you're putting on your face and your skin. You don't even know. It's just what they say. It's not tested. It's not regulated. And there are, Jordan, me and you know from some of the companies we've reviewed, there's some companies that are real cowboys, and it's not that I want to kind of call them out or anything. It's damaging to the beard community, and for like small companies that want to grow, and it just makes the whole community look a bit kind of cowboyish sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the fragrance calculations is so much more complicated than anybody looking on the outside understands. And I mean, if you look stuff up online on DIY oils, it's going to tell you like approximately use this many drops of fragrance. Every single different fragrance has a percentage that you can use for different parts of the body too. It's not just the face. Your face has a different rating than your body, than for opened wounds, than it does for medical. So there's all these different ratings. And then
also like leave-in products and wash-out products. So like if you have a conditioner or shampoo, you can use more of the fragrance than that, because it's going in and then goes straight out. But if it's a beard product, it goes in and stays in, so you have to use less of it. There's so many factors that you have to take into consideration.
And the real math comes in once you start mixing those, because if you were just to use one fragrance, it would be very simple. The supplier will tell you the exact percentage ratio you get to use for that. So it's very, very simple, right? And there's a version of Texas cedarwood that has 100% potency. You can put a bottle of Texas cedarwood on your skin perfectly fine. It is 100% healthy. But there's others where it's much lower, right? The median range is probably about 5%. That's where most of them fall in. But the second you start getting one that's 40% and you start getting one that's 5%, but then we have one in there that's 7%, figuring it out. And then the thing a lot of people miss when they're starting is it's based on weight. It's not based on drops. It's not based on volume. It's based on the weight. So the only proper way to do it is by weighing these things out. And it's a super complicated science. It is. As you get bigger in the US, you're supposed to have every scent rate. You're supposed to have it graded. Each one, not not just working up these things, amazing things. Every time you have a new scent profile come out, it's supposed to be graded. And there's a few companies that do that, but most do not. And we even now have the ability to trademark scent blends. So if you create a scent, not only can you trademark the name, the art, all of that, you can now trademark the blend. So the ratio with the different scents in there. And I know 2 companies that are doing that, but it's going to get to a point where everybody's going to need to. And then if you find out somebody's using that blend, there's an issue there. And then
kind of your money.
Yeah, there's so many companies in America too. I mean,
yep,
so many. Like I don't even,
and I love that. That's good for my job security, right?
One of the most expensive things for me actually is like so I've had my product CPSR tested, and when I went to get business insurance, so the business insurance in the UK, it asked me there's a lot of different questions they asked me. One of the questions was, are you looking to sell in to the UK, Europe, and the rest of the world, excluding Canada and America? And I say yes, and my cost is here. But then I say yes, I want to sell to Canada and America. The cost goes right up because of the UK looks at the US and Canada as like the legal suing culture,
right?
And they look at it as like they look at you guys as a big fucking risk. They're like, oh shit, oh you want to sell over there? Oh, okay, we're gonna put your premium right back because those motherfuckers are gonna sue. Honestly, it's a real thing. My insurance premium doubled because I said yes, I want to sell to the US and Canada. It's mad.
It is crazy. Now I can't name any names, but I've never told this story on a live before, but I would be willing to break it, Jordan, if you want to hear the story.
Absolutely.
So, can't say any names, but this is a crazy story since you talked about suing culture. So since I've started this, I've had 3 lawsuits against me because of reviews and because of videos. 2 of them were pretty much puffing smoke and puffing their chest out and trying to intimidate me. It didn't really go into anything, but one was for real. So I did a review, honest review, and I said I didn't like the product. It didn't work. But not only did I not like the product, I didn't agree with the ingredients and all this stuff. And again, it's not a hidden secret. I have a fee for every review, but that's a review for, I have a title of one that says the worst product that's ever touched my beard. They paid the same price that a company did that I said it was the greatest oil I've ever had. So, I mean, we talked about that earlier. It's super important to me. Otherwise, I would kind of lose everything, right? People are going to, if I say it's good, people are going to try it. And so I got to make sure I'm true to my word. So I said it wasn't good. And I got contacted. It wasn't until like 2 months later. I recently just did a review that I didn't like, like 2 weekends ago. It was like last Friday. And I still haven't heard from the company. That's one crappy side of this thing is I've been talking with them, working with them, and I'm very clear when companies reach out, right? Andy, if you reach out to me, I'm going to say, hey, I'd love to. Here's my fee, but I'm going to be honest. It doesn't buy a positive review. It buys my time.
I think I reached out to you within 5 minutes. You replied. You were like, yes, absolutely. But just to let you know, it's an open and honest review. And I love that. I love that. I wouldn't.
And that's the same for everything. It's a copy and paste thing, but it's true. And so I hate waiting for that email afterwards, like, oh, because owners take it very different ways. Some are awesome and they're like, dude, thank you. I value that. I didn't know that. I'm going to make the changes or consider it. And then some get pissed and go off. Well, this one, I didn't hear back from them for like 3 months. And I'm like, okay, cool. No. And some just fade off. They're like, screw them, whatever. Let's leave them alone.
Yeah.
Then I finally get an email like 3 months later. And it's from, I had not talked to this person. And the like subject bar is like your video inquiry, something like that. And they're like, hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm the general manager of this company. We are requesting that you take your video down. And that was all it was. And I wrote back. I was like, thank you guys. No, that's not going to happen, but I appreciate you and everything was on. And they wrote back and they said, well, then you're going to be hearing from our legal counsel. And they like broke it down. They're like, your video right now has like 10,000 views. We sell our product for about $10. So we are legally going to assume everyone that watched your video is not going to buy this product. And so we are suing you for $100,000. We're going to assume that they all were going to have this. I was like, all right.
Fuck
And
off. That's
Whoa.
ridiculous.
yeah, it was pretty crazy. And so I was like, okay. Well, luckily for me, my sister, I have two wildly successful younger sisters. My youngest sister went to University of Michigan undergrad, which is one of the best schools in the country. It's where we all went. And then she went to U of M medical school. Now she works at Northwestern Hospital in Chicago, which is a top-notch hospital. And then my middle sister, where this gets relevant, is she went to U of M undergrad, and then she went to Cornell Law School, which is an Ivy League, one of the top law schools in the world.
Good.
And she's a super powerful lawyer. So they're like, we're going to sue you for this much. And I'm like, okay, well, here's my sister's information. Like, good luck. Have fun. Because with videos, you're entitled to two things. You're entitled to your opinion and you're entitled to fact. Now, there are some people that blur those lines and don't know how to do it well. There's things you can say with an opinion. There's things you cannot say, right? I can say, I believe this company in my interactions is shady. I cannot say they are doing shady things. So there's a difference on those two things. So I never cross the line. I've always been very purposeful with my reviews. Every word I mean, I've never just turned it on and go. Everything's really thought out. So I knew I was good. And then we actually get the paperwork. This has happened twice before. This is the third lawsuit. This happened twice before. And at that point, when I gave them my sister's credentials, they like kind of withered away. One was because I had a reaction. This company was actually out of India. The first one that sued me or said they were suing me, and I had a reaction, and I said it in the video. And they were like, take it down. I'm like, no, like I actually had a reaction. Like I'm legally protected there. And they just kind of went away. No problem. All right. This company sends paperwork. We are actually going to court over this lawsuit, and they're proceeding with it. And we have, we're going to court. Everything's going through. We're exchanging paperwork. We're getting all ready for the case. I'm like, this is wild. My sister's sending them stuff. They're sending it back. We have a date set. And then I get an email from somebody with the same last name, And they're like, hey, Dan, I first want to apologize for my son. He's our general manager. He's very passionate, and he's also a lawyer. So he feels like this is kind of his world. I'm the CEO. I'm the founder of the company, and I would like to apologize for his actions. And how about instead of following through and completing this lawsuit, I hire you as a consultant to redo our entire beard line. And I was like, wow, that was a crazy, crazy turn. I was I'm like, listening, right? I'm not dumb, right? I didn't have a good experience with you so far, but I'm not dumb. And I knew they were a big company, but I had no idea how big. And they were like, okay, how about we offer you and I have affiliates, of course, and most of my affiliates, the percentage range is in double digits, right? Usually in a smaller double digit number. And they were like, we're going to offer you to redo everything. You will have access to and this doesn't give it away because there's a lot of things at play, whether it's white label and all this stuff, but it's the largest cosmetic lab in North America. And they were like, you are going to take over our beard department. I was like, wow, okay. And they were like, we will give you a 1% commission on revenue. And I'm like, all right, 1% maybe. And I was like, okay, before you kind of balk at that one product that you critiqued in your review did over $5 million in revenue last year. I was like, I'm not good at math, but that's like 50 grand for me and I can make it better. Like, wow, okay, let's do this. And so ever since then, it's been about a year and a half now. We've been redoing their entire beard line. I've been flown out to their lab and their headquarters. I got flown out to Las Vegas to pitch in front of the Rite Aid beard or shave and beard person. I've been flown to Colorado to pitch to the Walmart lead of beard and shave. And it's just been like an absolutely crazy ride. I can call them right now and say, hey, run this test. I got a product that I want you to test, and I want you to test it like 6 months out at this percentage humidity, at this percentage heat, and they can run simulations and see what would happen to the oxidation levels that would happen to it's been crazy. And I have not made a penny from them yet because we're not in stores. COVID has completely shaken everything up. Target, Walmart, Rite Aid, CVS, Walgreens have not made a new purchase order in the COVID times. Not one. They are returning the products they have, but they have not taken on a new product yet, which is the worst timing ever.
Yeah.
But
I love that you obviously started off with on the bad foot with a company
Right.
like that,
right.
and obviously it's like it's really easy, especially when you're so passionate. Like people get over passionate about their own brand, and they get like
That's their baby.
their ego becomes tied up with the brand. And obviously this guy, this son, he's kind of he's his ego's run away with him.
Yeah.
And obviously his dad's come in and be like, you know what, let's calm down. And it's about, for me, that's one of the things. I mean, that's why I put my products up for like trial. I want people to tell me if I want to know if they're crap. Like if they're shit, I want to know. That's more valuable for me. I don't want someone to blow smoke up my ass and tell me, "Oh yeah, your stuff's great. It's great. It's great."
Right.
Because you don't benefit from that, do you? You don't improve. You don't get better. I want people to tell me that it's shit and why it's shit, and then how I can improve it. And not a lot of companies can do that.
And it's all about how you deliver it too. And I was very professional with how I delivered it. And another example would be Ardius Man, large company in the U.S.
I know Ardius for a while.
Yep, I'd reviewed them in the past. I used them, but I never liked their products. I always thought that they were a great company. I always had beautiful interactions with them. I knew it worked for certain beards, especially gray beards, especially thin beards, especially red beards. But my like thick, dense beard, the oil was way too thick. So I always had to be very honest and tell people. Well, that turned into me developing their new thin beard oil and my own scent with them. But if I would have been a jerk and would have been like, this is garbage, if you wear this, you're an idiot, I would have never had that relationship, So yeah, it's all about how you deliver it. But that's what I do. That was my first consulting job, and it's been going on for the last year and a half now. And that's kind of branched out. They've recommended here and there, and companies have reached out, and I kind of have like a base for it. So that's been more than anything, more valuable than any pay I've received from any of those companies. Just like the learning process, and not like studying like a Google thing. Like I have to learn these things for it to get into in the US, Target is our most like gruesome store to get into. It is their regulations, their testing is just brutal. We actually got in the first round before COVID, but they have to have it sit on the shelf for 6 months to test the stability of a new product. So if they have a product in their store, it's been tested for at least 6 months, and ours oxidized in that 6 months. And essentially what that means is the product is perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with it, but the scent started to get oxygen in the bottle. It's a plastic bottle, which lends itself to that more than glass. And so they test all those things, and they're like, no, we want more shelf life than this, which is a different problem and challenge than with direct to consumer, which most of these small batch companies are. So there's so many layers to this. I love it. It's so interesting to me.
Well, because you grew a beard.
I know, isn't that freaking wild?
It's insane.
Isn't that crazy, man?
Absolutely insane.
And then another side story. I know it shouldn't be my story hour, but it's just kind of piggybacking off that. Before I started the channel, my wife is brilliant as well. She went to U of M, and she has an accounting degree. She's a CPA, which in America essentially means you're smart as hell. Like you're just really good with numbers. The test is really difficult to take. And so she was working as an accountant, and her job, I'm a teacher, so her job was much better than mine in terms of like insurance, in terms of pay, insurance of in terms of benefits and all that stuff. So we were taking her insurance. We were lending heavily on her pay. And then we had our first son, Maddox, almost 6 years ago. And her kind of had a messed up childhood, and dad left when she was 3 months old. Mom left her when she was in high school, and just a wild past. And so her whole life, she just wanted to be a mom. Like that was her whole goal forever. She wanted to be raise kids the way she wasn't. And I had amazing parents, so that was never kind of like on the forefront of my mind. And obviously I love being a dad, but that was her whole life. And so when we had our first kid, she had her maternity leave. And then when she started to go back to work, she was like crying every day. She's like, I don't want somebody else raising my kids. I want to be home. I want to do this. And I'm like, oh man. All right. let's make this work. So she left her accounting job. We lost her insurance. We lost all her stuff. And so I started coaching every day of the year, started doing private lessons. I was tutoring. I even took on online dictation pay, which is essentially these big businesses have work meetings and they all have just a mic in the middle of the room and they're all talking like we are now. And I would sit on my computer and I would type out what they were saying, and you get graded on like how accurate you are. And the bigger the meeting, the more you got paid for it. So I would work all day, come home, do that for hours. And I was just doing whatever I could to make money work, and started the channel. And that like has allowed her now to stay home without any worries. I've been able to leave some of those responsibilities and spend more time with my family. Like I said, I do this at night rather than waste family time. And that because I grew a beard, like that's what's so crazy. I grew a beard and I get to have more family time and do these things, and my wife doesn't have to worry about going to work or feeling bad that she didn't use her college education and all this stuff. And yeah, because of a beard, like sometimes we sit back and we're like, holy crap, like this is crazy. And it just has snowballed one thing, and it's not, I mean, it was the channel, then this, then that, and it's just wild to sit back and think, and many people would make fun of that, right? I mean, when you start a YouTube channel and you're a 30-year-old man, people are like, oh, that's cool, you got 50 subscribers, sweet, man, good job.
That's the same. I get it.
It's about your beard, and so it's not easy to do, and then to like kind of see where it's went and where it's going is over a beard. It's wild.
You got to give yourself more credit than that. It's more than just a beard. It's your fortitude and your mentality and the way you approach things, and that you're personable, and the way that you can present your reviews and your products with, while being genuine. Your genuineness comes off, man, straight off, and that's why people relate to you, and they appreciate your channel and what you do.
Thank you, man. That gave me chills. Thank you.
Dude, Alex, I didn't even know you were there, man. What's up, man?
I'm here, baby. I'm a ninja. I'm always watching, whether you know it or not. This beard is always in the room, so be ever vigilant. I'm here.
Yeah. So Dan,
you're not on my like it doesn't fit on my screen.
Yeah. So Dan, just so you know,
what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant.
This is
one of my favorite people right there. I didn't know you were sitting around.
Yep. Yeah, so Dan, just so you know, like the four of us have been talking like consistently like for months now, and we've been trying to make a Zoom call happen with all four of us. Like
this is the first time.
For months, and this is the first time it's happened.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We got the Dancy Beard Edition now for the day.
Yeah, just throw me in there.
We're winning. No, it's cool. You've got all stories. We talk to each other at least one-on-one pretty regularly, and so it's a good mix.
Absolutely.
I'm all inspired now. I need a bigger beard and I need to hustle harder. That's what I'm getting from this conversation right now.
So Dan, I'm sorry. My name is Alex, by the way, man. It's a pleasure to meet you. I've been a fan of your channel for a while. You mentioned you're a teacher. You're a history teacher, correct? I think I heard you said American history specifically.
I teach both. I teach early U.S. history, but this year I'm actually all ancient world history.
So awesome.
Cool.
That's awesome, man. That's right up my alley. I love all that stuff.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, like right now I'm on the different Chinese dynasties. Just finished the Shang dynasty. We're wrapping up the Qin dynasty, going into the Han dynasty. So yeah. I love it. It's an easy job. I get to talk about like emperors beheading people and tattooing the face of Confucian scholars and stuff. Like you're talking to seventh graders. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be rad is if you did like you have these, I know you're super busy all the time, but you had like these like 3 minutes, like this day in beard history, like segments.
Yeah. And I want to. I got a couple plans in the future for different channels and stuff, and that's one of them. The only difference there is the history like world is brutal. If you pull up any history video on YouTube, it's just people just being disgusting in the comments. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. It's like nobody does. This was 7,000 years ago. We're just making educated guesses here. So like
I found something really interesting. So like I was born in the UK. I grew up in the Middle East, but I also lived in America for a year at school. And in the UK, we know nothing about, we never get taught anything about American history.
Yeah.
And when I went to middle school, I think, how old was I? I think I was like 9 to 10 years old. And I knew nothing about American history. And then suddenly I got thrown like everything about the Civil War. But like in the UK, we don't learn anything about that. But then I grew up in the Middle East, and we were taught loads of like World War II, and also like the World War II, but in Africa. It's crazy how like you go to different parts of the world and you get thrown different parts of history. But
oh yeah,
you never know the whole picture. You never know the whole picture.
Right.
That's within states, because you know I grew up in California, and like Southern history outside the Civil War, we don't learn none of that. Like we know about the gold rush, and I mean I didn't go to school here, but my kids are 7th and 5th grade, and they're not taught about, you know, like Sutter's Fort and the Donner Party and all that. I mean, even just in like America itself, the states themselves don't even share other states' history. They do. With Civil War, of course, Revolutionary War, that's standard. But like we maybe got a page on the Alamo when I was in high school, but that was like but I know all about the Gold Rush. I know all about the Donner Party. Like, and then it's even every state's like its own different world, different accents.
It's getting better now, thankfully. Like people like to like crap on the Common Core, but the whole idea is exactly that, where you can go from one state to the other and get the same thing. Because like I teach about the Donner Party, I think is so fascinating. Right?
I used to live in Donner, actually.
Really?
Yeah. My teenage years, I lived in Donner, right on the summit.
Very cool. Yeah, but like teaching an 8th grader about these people trying to take a shortcut and they get stuck and they end up eating each other and labeling the bodies so they don't eat their family members and stuff, like that's anything that's wild I'm going to teach about, because that grabs them.
And you know they had awesome beards.
Yeah. Yep. And I love to incorporate, like on China right now, they had pretty cool facial hair. You don't see it as much in Asia anymore, but they had all the Fu Manchus. They had real long, they'd grow their eyebrows out and stuff. It's interesting, and it helps.
I've been reading I've been reading the Gulag Archipelago about like heavy read, like emotionally heavy read.
Right.
But even that, like you don't learn about that in the UK. They don't teach you that part of history. They teach you, the Western Front. They teach you about Nazi Germany, but they don't teach you about the kind of Soviet Russia era.
Right.
And that stuff, it completely changes your perspective. But even that, like even in that book, there's they talk about beards. It's crazy. Like there's always a beard story everywhere you look at history.
Alexander the Great, like it's beards defined generations and like everything. Didn't Alexander the Great make his soldiers not have beards so they couldn't get pulled down in battles? And
oh really?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Yep. And then the Greeks,
like that Russian coin, right? Like where you had to pay to have a beard.
I heard about that.
Insanity. I know Dan probably knows all this.
Oh yeah.
Two questions. One, has anyone ever successfully rocked a Fu Manchu? And then 2, can we all agree that Abraham Lincoln had the best beard as far as presidents go?
I'm going with Grant, my friend.
Yeah. I'll agree with that.
I'm going with Grant.
Good beard, but he had the biggest beard. There were some other well-maintained beards, but yeah, Lincoln definitely had the best beard.
Without it, hands down. And that's coming from an expert, ladies and gentlemen. I love this.
There you go.
You still here, Alex?
What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're still here?
I'm here, baby. I'm a ninja. I pop in like wind when you least expect it.
I love it. That's that fight background.
And where are you from, Alex?
I live in Tampa, Florida. I grew up in Tampa and Miami, but my family, my bloodline is actually from Cuba, so I'm of Cuban descent.
Okay, all right. And you're into martial arts?
Yeah, so I'm a black belt in Kyokushin karate, and I have a full mixed martial arts program that I teach down here.
Awesome. I am a massive martial arts fan.
No way, bro. Yeah, I'm a sponsored athlete. I still compete and travel around. I'm actually doing a training trip just after Thanksgiving. So first week of December, I'm going down to Miami and I'm training with a guy named Daniel Perez, which is, I don't know how much you follow mixed martial arts, but Damian Maya.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
He's the first American to be awarded a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from Damian Maya.
Wow. Yeah, Damian Maya is the epitome of MMA jits guy, right? Not much.
Best jiu-jitsu for MMA, hands down.
Oh, so my favorite jits, my favorite MMA practitioner of BJJ is Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell.
Oh. With the camo shorts that he just got approved.
Yes. Got the second ever twister and almost had it a second time.
Yeah, Thug Nasty's he's the one to watch, man, of the new generation. He's a bad white boy. I like him.
He is bad, and doesn't even have any like high level training or anything. He's just kind of, and hopefully he does. But yeah, so I'm from Flint, Michigan area. I went to high school with Mike Perry.
Oh, wow. Nice. Don't tell too many people that. Awesome.
Yeah. He actually went to 8 different high schools in his 4-year high school career. I was one of them.
I believe it. So I've never been to Flint, but I went to Jackson, Michigan,
yeah.
and then I hung out in Detroit for a little while. So I'm a big fan of the whole like Michigan, like the scene and stuff there. The what is it? The Jack White, the guy, it's like the Jewish Center where they play music and stuff out there in Detroit.
Yep.
I forget what it's called now.
I know what you're talking about.
With the mosaic or something like that. But it's awesome history there, man. It's a beautiful place. I love great pizza too. Detroit pizza's off the chain.
Yeah. Yep. And Jackson is our biggest, baddest prison.
Isn't Jets Pizza from Detroit?
Jets. Yep. Jets is in the Michigan.
That's my knowledge right there. That Mile 8, that's all I know about.
But yeah, very cool. I'm a major fan. I've messed around with stuff, but never done anything serious. But I love watching. I love studying. I watch even BJJ competitions. One of my best buddies is his dad is a judo master and grew up in judo his whole life. And it was fun. They have these open fights at this place called the Machine Shop by us, where they have like big, huge rock concerts and stuff. And my buddy's this small Asian dude, little beer belly, and plays basketball, but literally grew up with judo his whole life. And so he'd enter these open weight these fights, and you could like win money. You had to put down like $20. He'd go up against these dudes. He's like literally like 5'6", like beer belly Asian. Go up against these guys that are like 6'4", tight end in college, and he'd make them cry, like literally make them cry.
That's one of the amazing things about like judo. It's about that center of gravity, especially with judo. You can be a short little chubby guy, but if you know how to fucking throw that, that center of gravity.
Size doesn't matter as much as people think. It's strategy and technique. I mean, I'm not going to say size and strength don't matter at all, but technique and strategy will take you a lot further. And if you're ever in the Tampa Bay area, let me know, bro. I'll show you how to choke and break people, no charge, come to class.
Absolutely. Yeah, because he wouldn't even, like everybody knows judo throws and hip tosses, he wouldn't even do that. He would just grab them by the wrist and get them down to their knees, and they'd be crying by the way he would lock up their wrist. And it was just, it was because I'd be sitting outside. I'd never gotten the fights, but I'd be sitting outside and people like, oh, look at this guy, and like throwing derogatory terms out, and he would just have these dudes crying. It was amazing.
Bro, so it's funny, like wrist locks and like leg locks, like it's like frowned upon. Like they're not frowned upon, but like people say it's like it's dirty. It's like a cheap move. It's like a dirty, cheap shot, like a prison move or something like that, right? It's only dirty because it works, bro.
Right. Exactly. Who's the?
There's so many things that are like overlooked now, like calf slices, bicep slices. Like wrapping a gi around someone's wrist and pushing it down. Like it works. It really works, and people don't like it because the reason people don't like it is because it's not common knowledge. They don't train how to get out of this stuff. They don't train how to deal with it. But then someone get into a competition, someone like wraps a gi around over your thumb and pushes you get a tap out of it for a second, and it's just not common knowledge moves, and people don't like it.
Yeah.
I think beyond that, longer fights make more money.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Who's the white kid right now? He doesn't look athletic at all, and nobody will fight him because he keeps getting the leg locks.
Ryan Hall.
Yes.
The Wizard, Ryan Hall. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ryan
No one will
Hall.
take his fight.
That guy is an assassin on the ground. It's amazing.
If he grabs your leg, it's over.
Yeah.
Well, so he's known for, like, obviously he's super famous for leg locks, but he actually has more triangle finishes than anything. He's got something crazy, like it's like 400 something finishes in jiu-jitsu competition with triangles.
Yeah.
With triangles, it's nuts. Yeah, but Ryan Hall, he's a monster. I'm trying to set up a day to, be able to fly out there. I think he's is he in Virginia? I think he's in Virginia.
Yeah.
I want to get some training time in with him.
And he's proof that you should never have road rage. You should never mess with someone because you have absolutely no idea who you're messing with. Like that guy, I mean, nobody would be intimidated looking at him, but he could take your knee apart.
Oh, absolutely. Have you ever seen the YouTube video where the guy with him in the pizza shop?
No.
So there's a video of him in a pizza shop with some of his friends, and they're just sitting around having pizza, just chilling. And this guy, he's obviously inebriated. He's being a little belligerent, and he asks them like for a lighter. Hey guys, I want to smoke. He comes to the table being a jerk, and they go, we're athletes, we don't smoke. And the guy takes it personal, and he keeps going on and on and on, and Ryan ends up choking him out and putting him in the parking lot.
Nice.
The cops show up and they wake the guy. I don't think they wake the guy. The guy's awake and the cops show up and they go, dude, do you know who that guy is? Like, he could have killed you if he chose to. They have this talk with him. So it's a beautiful video because then the guy comes in and apologizes for the error of his ways, But absolutely, don't ever underestimate anybody, especially nowadays. You never know what they know or what they have on you. Peace is a better answer.
What you got to look out for the natural warning signs. When you see a wasp or like a deadly snake, and it usually has brown and yellow stripes on it. There's a human equivalent to that, and it's called cauliflower.
Yeah,
don't fuck with the guy that has cauliflower in it. Just
stay away from
the ear and a well-groomed beard is what you got to watch out for.
There you go.
Cauliflower beard.
Yeah, there's actually a bearded YouTuber who's into BJJ, Scott Barnes. So check him out with 3 T's, Scott Barnes, and he actually has Jits videos on his YouTube channel.
That's dope. I'm gonna check him out for sure.
Yeah,
there's a guy who used to train at my old gym here. He's called Beardsman. He's a Scottish fighter. He's light heavyweight guy. He beat Shogun recently, actually.
Wow.
Obviously Shogun's been for a long time.
Right, he's out of his prime.
I've heard that he's joining the Scottish Bearded Villains, actually.
That's cool.
Yeah, but he's bloody good. Really good jiu-jitsu. Because jiu-jitsu in Scotland has only been around maybe about 10 years. Before that, like, no one knew. It was all like Muay Thai here has been the thing.
Nobody knew in the rest of the world until like 92. That was about when it started.
We're a bit behind on the timeline here.
Yeah. The Gracies put everybody on notice around 93.
Yeah, 92, 93 they started to come in, and that was the explosion in the history of like jiu-jitsu in the world like took a hyperdrive at that point.
Yeah, I just love the whole journey of it. It's like it's the evolution of the sport, and it's it started off as, I think the best thing that Gracie ever said was like the ground is the ocean, I'm a shark, and you can't swim. If you don't know what you're doing there, you just don't bother. Just don't bother.
Don't go into the deep waters. Or as Thug Nasty says, cook them to the bone.
That's it. Yeah, Bryce Mitchell's a bad dude, bro. Bad dude.
He is. All right, Jordan, what you got for me? You got any time? I know you're cooking over there.
Oh yeah. I'm just looking through.
I was going to ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I love to do like cheap beard tips. I love to like do things like save people money. Like a lot of people don't have, especially in COVID. People like fucking it's tight. Life's hard right now.
For sure.
Like, what is your best cheap beard tip? Quick fix. You need something to use. You can't afford a good beard oil, beard balm. What can you do quickly, cheap to use, and smash it?
Yeah, so I would kind of go on two sides of the fence. One is if you really need cheap, and I did a video recently on it, baby wash will get you through with your beard. It's not going to be ideal, but if you find something that's not petroleum based, you're going to be fine. There's some really good ones that you can get in the low couple of dollars here for baby wash, and it's not going to smell the manliest. It's not going to be the most stripping or greatest ever, but it will cleanse your beard. It's got the pH level and the clarifying properties that you need. And on the other side, if you really need it, just get a mix of 2 or 3 extra virgin, right, food grade oils in the store. You can get sweet almond oil. You can get flaxseed oil. You can get coconut oil. You just want to try to get the cold press variety, and a lot of people don't know that extra virgin means cold press, but not only cold press, it's first press. So it's that first press has all the properties that you want out of it. The more you press it, the less it has, right? That just makes sense, obviously. And so that would be my biggest tip is if you're really strapped, get 2 or 3, mix them together, because I do believe like a carrier blend should be like a team, and you should have supporting actors that work well to each other, like a basketball team, right? You don't want a team full of point guards or a team full of centers. You want a nice blend. So yeah, grab yourself a sweet almond oil, grab yourself a grapeseed oil, grab yourself something that they have in that cooking section, and even like an olive oil, and you will be fine. You're not going to smell great. But your beard will be healthy. You'll be presentable. And that's what really matters.
It's like, honestly, like to this day, when I do my beard, I use like products, but when I want to trim the lines, I still use a cutthroat razor and just pure coconut oil.
Because shaving cream, you can't see the line. With coconut oil, you can see the line.
You can see it. So you get, I mean, I even do it on my, like here, I've got like a little vampire Count Dracula point. I trim it here. But honestly, man, coconut oil, a cutthroat razor that I bought 2 years ago, still using the same razor blade. It works perfectly. That's all I use.
So I was a barber for many years. I still have my license, but I don't practice as much anymore. But I always used usually, the hot shape, the hot foam and the towel and everything it's more kind of like a nostalgia thing.
Right.
But, things are better for your skin than using like that shaving cream,
Yeah.
So I always used a conditioner, like Dove, like pure conditioner, because you can see the line. It's real smooth. It's all about just getting the blade slick and protecting the skin,
When I was in the military, I would get it wet and basically dry shave and then use Purell. That was how I rolled.
Dry shave is rough though, bro. Like on certain people, like on a black guy, if you dry shave him, you'll make him bump. You'll mess up his skin bad. Not everybody can take that,
Yeah, and there's many different cultures. They, even when they're using shaving products, they have the bumps, the ingrown hairs. They're much more prone to that because the hair grows curly, the hair grows out at a different angle and stuff. So yeah, that can be definitely more difficult.
One of the things I'm looking to do is like, oh, sorry, go. One of the things I'm looking to do is like my actually it's my ex-girlfriend now. She's a black girl and she has like very curly hair, and she was a curly hair product tester, and it was great for me, like on my journey coming into this industry. Like I learned so much from her about beards just through her hair. And like if you look at products that girls with curly hair use, they are so far in advance on the beard industry. And I think we can learn so much like from that industry and bring it into the beard industry. Like one of the things I was looking at is like hot oil treatment on beard.
Coconut oil,
like actual hot oil treatment. You buy it in you buy it in sachets. You throw it in the microwave for 30 seconds, bring it out, put it on, you put it on their hair, and it made my ex-girlfriend's hair amazing. And I'm thinking, why does no one do that?
So for beards, you put coconut oil on your beard. You get a grocery bag, wrap it around your ear. Then you take a blow dryer, literally, and then you blow dry the outside of the bag, and that gives you the hot oil treatment.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing tomorrow morning.
And
Creates like a steam. Creates like a steam within the bag, and then
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and it's for like gray beards,
Never
like
thought of that.
white,
Yeah.
silver, gray. It's like almost necessary at once a month or so. And but yeah, like you were saying, the they call it like the natural curly hair industry for women, which has been around far longer than any other industries. That hair matches most beards better than anything else.
Yeah.
But the only issue, though, is the sebum level. Oftentimes, curly haired, often cultures, they produce even more sebum level than other scalps. And so there are certain methods like that don't work, such as oftentimes they will put on first like a conditioner, like a leave-in conditioner, and then lock it in. They have different letter sayings and phrases for it, but then lock it in with an oil and stuff. And that doesn't usually work for the beard because we have to prioritize the skin. What they're prioritizing is the hair. And so there's some things you gotta be able to take, and then other ones you gotta be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You're producing that sebum naturally. That won't translate to the beard. So there's so much, and it's so interesting.
Yeah, I just love the it's the journey for me. It's not about where I'm going to get to. It's the journey and what I'm learning along the way, and it's not just about the cosmetics and the beard and the face. Like since we all started this journey, like I've learned so much shit. I've learned how to video edit. I've learned how to do use even marketing, like everything.
Right.
I've learned more in the last 6 months than I have in the last 10 years of my life. Like, no joke. And when I say more, I mean tenfold more. Tenfold more. And the best thing about it is it's something that I really enjoy. And, it doesn't feel like I'm trying to learn something. It's just fun. It's just fun. It's great. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's probably so much that you've learned that you don't even remember.
Yourself, you see the results. So it's like perpetual achievement. It's like the dream in anything anybody does.
It is.
Actually, I almost 10 years, of having facial, hair. I never even knew to leave the oil in for 5 minutes.
Yep.
I learned that from Dan.
Same.
Over there. And I never knew. I would always just every day I put the oil, or every other day I put the oil in, go right to my balm, head out. And now it's like it's an actual part of my routine.
Yeah.
Like, I do depending on what I've done, I'll shampoo pretty heavy. I'll do like an actual deep cleaning about every 3 to 5 days, depending on how dirty I got. I have like a 10-acre farm, so sometimes in the summer it's a nightmare. But like right now, I don't sweat, and but it's like a legit. Like when I go to work and if I shower, I'll keep it kind of damp. I'll put the oil in, and then I'll just do other things. Then I'll go back to the balm. But that was like an absolute game changer. I never knew that. It's way different. Like even my skin feels different throughout the day.
For sure.
It's pretty amazing. So thank you once again to the wisdom beard over here.
Yeah.
So
it's
pretty
100%.
awesome.
Yeah. And for everybody watching, if you haven't checked out Dan's channel already, and you're starting to grow a beard, especially it's No Shave November right now as we're recording this. So that Dan C, that's the place to go for all things bearded and beard knowledge.
Thank you.
Yes, definitely helps.
Yeah.
And it's entertaining because you do have that I didn't know you were a history teacher till recently, but going back, I'm like, oh, you do have a very teacher vibe.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and there's so much training with being a teacher that lends itself to having a YouTube channel. Not only like how I pitch the content, right? My job every day is I have 150 7th graders looking at me, and I need to keep them active and engaged. So I'm always thinking through the lens of engagement. That's important, because I can give the best information in the world, but if they're not engaged, it doesn't matter. So I gotta have them engaged first. And then even just outside of that, right, in teaching, I deal with awful parents all the time. Terrible parents. I have to listen to really dumb things, and I have to kind of hold my tongue and be nice. Well, YouTube, there's a lot of dumb things I have to listen to, and I still have to be nice. I mean, the amount of comments I read in a day, I mean, you can do odds and think about how many of them are not going to be nice or not going to be accurate. And having that training as a teacher and also a coach, it has helped so much in being able to plan and have a touch, right? My new live stream, well, not new. We've had it for over a year and a half now, but my Wednesday night streams is now beard advice. And I really think my best friend, the mayor, and I are like the perfect people for this beard advice segment, because guys are really vulnerable, right? When they're saying, hey, I want some help with my beard, they're dudes, right? They're military men. They're guys with beautiful wives. They're guys that are the foremen at their building, and then there's MMA guys and stuff. And so for them to put themselves out there, it takes a lot. So it takes like a certain kind of touch to be able to give them feedback, but also respect that they want, right? I could say, hey, your beard's great on everyone, and they're going to feel good and stuff, but that's not why they came there. They really want to know. And that's what I think is really special about our Wednesdays. We're not afraid to say, hey, trim this. Hey, try this style. Hey, do this. And I think it takes a teacher's touch to be able to do that, because seventh graders, and I think, Adam, you said you have a seventh grade child, they are at this point where any word can rock their world. So I have to almost approach it with a certain touch to be able to be like, they're in this vulnerable place. They're their worst critics in seventh grade, and they're going through hormones and changes and stuff. Well, oftentimes bearded guys aren't much different. So it helps out a lot to be able to have that teacher mindset. I think my like job all the time. We also run a Facebook group, and moderating a Facebook group is not much different than moderating a classroom. So I love that teacher background.
Yep. When you say that, it's like I think of it in this way as well. It's like, if you look at most bearded guys, like we grew a beard. I mean, a lot. I mean, me particularly, I grew a beard because I couldn't be bothered shaving. I couldn't be bothered taking care of myself. Most of us don't understand how to take care of ourselves, like facially, hair wise. We're fucking morons when it comes to taking care of
There's so much science involved.
Fucking clue. So when it comes to actually looking for advice, we'll believe anything. Like I'll go buy a derma roller tomorrow because I think it's going to make me get rid of my, it's like we don't know what we're talking about. So to have that valuable information from someone like you is invaluable. And I
love that. One of my biggest markets is like Adam. It's guys that were former military, and they're never shaving again. But also, either their dad isn't around anymore because they're older in life. I have career military men all the time. Hey, Dan, I'm 54 years old. I just retired. Growing a beard out for the first time. Their dad's no longer with us, or their dad was from a generation where they didn't grow beards. They were always shaving. So the things that you could go to your dad, like, hey, Dad, how do I change these brakes, right? Your dad can break it down. If I personally would have went to my dad and said, hey, Dad, what should I do for beard advice? He would have laughed me out of the room and said, get that crap off your face. Like, what are you talking about? So
it's the whole stigma as well, isn't it? It's like, oh, what, you're using moisturizer? Oh, come on, man up. Well,
that's the whole like, that's a whole different group of men, though. The whole like, all you need is, blood and dirty motor oil. That's all you need, you pansy. Like
I love those.
Like I said earlier, like my beard touches like my wife's body, or like I'll hug my kids, and I'll like whatever's on my beard touches the things I love. And so just on that aspect, I take care of it, and I don't need no fleas or anything. Like it's just common hygiene. I mean, like look at how COVID's affected everybody. Like we're all realizing that as a mass, we're nasty. And so like if you see a clean groomed beard, you're like, oh, that guy probably washes his hands. Like I actually feel safer around groomed men than I do anybody else because they're putting that much effort into something.
As long as you're well kept. I think the mentality for a while was like kind of like, the long hair don't care. If you have a beard, you're unprofessional. Now it's for many years, and in a lot of cultures and societies, to have a beard was a distinguished symbol. So now it's like it's coming back around. As long as you're well kept and you stay on point, it's just like, oh, because let's be honest, all of us know it takes time to make your beard look good, bro. Like you got to put time and love into it. And there's an old Buddhist saying that if, you know, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Oh, yeah.
So if you take the time to make your beard look nice and be presentable and on point, I mean, you do that in a lot of facets and aspects of your life, you know?
Yeah. There's one of my favorite speeches on the internet is from this military man, captain, I believe, from the, oh man, was he? I believe
Is it
Navy.
Nick Raven?
Yes. Love
It's
that,
about
that
making your
speech
bed.
so much.
Savage.
Yeah, he talks about make your bed, wake up,
Yes.
make your bed,
Oh,
and
that is
the
my
first
life
thing,
like motto right now.
my beard. And I'm actually making a video on this in the future. The first thing I do is I get ready in the morning. I do not check my phone when I wake up. I go into the shower. I do my grooming routine. I get my beard ready. I'm fully get dressed. I got the deodorant, got everything, and then I sit down and get my phone. Like you said, how you do anything is how you do everything, and that reminded me of that is accomplish something first. And the beard's the same way. And people ask, dude, how long does that take? And I'm like, you guys, that time is like therapy for me. Like I love my family with a passion. I have the greatest wife ever. I have 3 amazing kids. But when I'm in the bathroom getting ready for that 10 minutes or so with my beard, that's just me. No one comes in there. They leave me alone. They know I'm getting ready, and it's like I cherish that time. It's
like
not
it's centering yourself for the day.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's getting your self-centered. It's just getting there, waking up, and saying, "Right, I'm here."
Yep.
This is
Absolutely. It's a form of meditation. It's a form of like it is. It's a form of meditation. You're getting yourself right, and then after you do that and you get yourself right, you can take on anything the day brings. You know.
And I mean, this for me, like this whole COVID thing, I feel bad saying it, but it's honestly one of the best things that ever happened to me. I was like, you know, when there's a saying, it's busy doing nothing. Like I was so busy with my career, working so hard, but I wasn't really going anywhere and I wasn't happy. This thing, like I worked in hospitality for 15 years. This has destroyed the hospitality industry. It forced me out of my job, but I've changed everything about what I do. And one of the biggest changes is I've just had a little bit more time in the morning. I wasn't rushed. And every morning I wake up, I go have a shower. I come up here and I sit in this exact chair. I turn my heated beard brush on. I sit down. I blow dry my hair. I blow dry my beard. I comb it through. I put my products. I use my straightener. Then I use my products. And it's this exact same routine every day. But once I've done it, my productivity is just a million miles above what it used to be for years. Just because I wake up and this little routine centers myself and I just move forward from that. And I'm a different human being. I'm a different animal because I have a little routine in the morning. It's incredible.
Yeah, you're in a pattern of accomplishment. You know, you're knocking things out as soon as you wake up, like Dan was saying. Just start knocking things out, and then you'll keep that going throughout the day. You know?
Yeah, when you get up on when you get up on a lazy day, you feel that. You feel the grogginess. You feel that thing. And, same for me, Andy. I've literally said that phrase. Like, I feel awful saying this because I know some families are in their worst times ever, and I fully understand, and I do my best to help anybody I can, especially my friends around me. But this has been the greatest time of my life. I've been at home. I wake up and see my daughter. Like, my daughter is turning is 10 months old. This COVID is like 10 months old. How many dads have been around their 10-month-old daughter as much as I have been? But also working a full-time job as a teacher and also working much more as a content creator, all while still being able to see my daughter that much and wrestle with my sons on lunch break and see my wife and stuff. Like, it's wild what this has allowed me to do and put truly everything into the channel and stuff. I love coaching, but our season was canceled this fall because of COVID stuff, right? Water polo is a very high contact sport and a lot of fluids going everywhere. So that makes sense to have that delayed. But that time has not just been like free. I've put that into everything. So yeah, it's been the best time for me ever. I've invested it all.
Well,
I feel like I've got my PlayStation and just pressed the reset button. Just pressed the reset button and started. And it's like a lot. I mean, there's a lot of past colleagues of mine who work in hospitality. I mean, in the UK, the hospitality industry is done. It's gone. And like now we're 10 months down the line, as you said, and I still see previous colleagues on Facebook complaining, oh, the Prime Minister of the UK is saying, you need to retrain, you need to do this, you need to train to a new, a new career. And they complain about it. It's like, adapt, improvise, adapt, overcome. This is the world we're in. Just use this for good. Like embrace it, and like use it for what it is. And I think that's a lot of people that I know have embraced this and become like so much better at everything they do. But a lot of people, it's like it's really hurt them, and they can't get over it. And it's a bit of a shame to see, but I think you've got to look at it as a positive.
The pandemic's I don't like, this is not real callous. It's kind of a herd thinner. I mean, it's devastating on certain groups' health, but there's two kinds of humans that are going to come out. They're going to be the people that get in the food line. They're the people that make the food. Like there's only two ways to deal with something like this. You either thrive or you shrivel up. There's like no in between to this. And that's like you, Dan. Like if you can hustle even a little bit, you're gonna be all right. It's a weird, like our kids, like my kids, like I don't even know. I have no idea what's going through their heads. Like I don't think that they can even comprehend it. I grew up in I'm 37. Like I grew up like in the like late 90s. Like I was a teenager in the 90s. Like that was awesome. And I feel horrible for my kids. Think of the pandemic, the social unrest. Like America's insane right now.
Yeah, and it's a time to take risks, right? Andy, you left your
100%.
career. I talked about my wife leaving her career, and those things are all risk, but man, the reward can be fantastic.
Yeah. And what's the worst that could happen? You'll just end up where you started.
Right.
Like no matter what, you're either going to be in the food lines.
Stay stagnant. I think the worst thing that can happen is just to stay in your current situation.
Right now,
my industry is dead. It's dead. The worst thing I could do is stay stagnant and complain and bitch and moan about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best thing that can happen? Well, I mean, better than what it just was. Like anything is better than that. Let's move forward, let's evolve, and let's try something, Totally.
It all comes down to mindset, man. Everybody here has that mindset of like, look, dude, you can leave 2020, devastated and depressed, or you can gain more knowledge, skill, and confidence, and then just keep going and thrive, bro. And only the strong will survive, bro. You got to have that mindset. It's like, okay, well, you got to adapt and overcome. It is what it is right now. Let's keep moving. We got to figure something out.
Yep.
Jocko Willink. You guys must know Jocko Willink.
Yeah, no, it was Jocko. Yeah.
Good. You better learn how to fucking do this better.
Yeah, good. That's one of the best. That's a great piece of advice for that little like quip he says.
Oh, shit.
He's right though, bro. It's like, all right, well, adapt and overcome. All right, good. What do we do next?
You're injured, good. Now you needed time to heal and rest.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Equipment sucks, good. You can get better at it.
And that mindset can almost be frowned upon at times, especially in culture and stuff. Like one thing, I've done a lot of interviews like this, and I love them. But a question I always get was, did you ever expect to be here? Did you ever think, like, I remember when I hit 1,000 subscribers, everybody's question was like, dude, did you ever dream of having 1,000 subscribers? And I was like, well, am I an arrogant bastard to say yes? Like, I truly believe I'm going to hit 1 million subscribers. Like, I believe I'm going to be the first individual beard content creator. I'm going to pass my good friend Scuba, and I'm going to be the first one to reach 1 million. And I honestly believe that. And some people would be like, oh, that's arrogant. It's like, by having goals, I never understood that. Like, it's like this false humility thing is like taking over. People like, I never would have imagined I got here. And like, I knew I could, otherwise I would never get into something that I didn't think I could be like good at. That's my mind says, I'm not going to try. You'll never see me do karaoke or anything, because I can't sing, right? I can't do those things. So I'm not going to. There's a lot of things I'm not good at, but that's that mindset. Like, we're going to survive. We're going to do great, but it's almost like frowned upon at times. And that kills me. That credit, it's not
that's from people that don't get it. That's from people that don't, the people that frown upon it are the ones that don't understand it. They don't understand the mindset.
Yeah, it kills me because I fully fully plan. If I have like my average amount of subscribers that I gain in a day, yesterday was a slight tick below that. I'm like, hey, what happened? What's going on? Where can I dial in? Where can I go out and make this up? You know, I'm not like, well, you're sitting at that many people, you should be happy. It's like, no, it's number gains, you know, it's moving up. I love it.
That's the, I think, man, I don't know. I read it. It might have been Ryan Michler, but he said something along the lines, and it's right on point. And he said, you know, it's the why don't you be yourself? Like, why being yourself is kind of a cop out. Like, why not be a better version of yourself?
Yeah.
Just always perpetuate that. That's the whole, like the bottom 80% will try to drag the top 20% down because they couldn't handle 100% of what they put up with. It's just easier. It's just easier to pull you down because people. I think I hate to say it, but I think human nature tends, in a weird primal competitive way, kind of likes to see other humans don't like to see other humans succeed beyond what they're already succeeding, and so all they're going to do is try to drag you down.
Yeah. Let me bring it back to beards in a perfect way, because I've always fought the crowd on this. I've always fought the mass. The shade and the hate that gets thrown to Beard Brand is the most ridiculous thing of all time.
Yeah.
Right? People crying, talking about small batch. Let's get small batch going. Let's do this. And you don't need to be supporting that evil empire and stuff. And it's like, you don't want to support, you don't want to have positivity towards the people that proved it's possible, to the people that actually did this. Like like they're quality products. They established content creation for beards. They were the very first ones before everybody else. Eric Banholtz was making videos, literally the first person. And
I remember that dude on Shark Tank.
Yeah, right. And it's all these things get thrown at them, and I've never understood that. Like, it cannot be for you, that's fine. But nobody says you can't say their products are crap. You can't say they're low quality, and their success should be something that you love, right? And Scuba's another reason. People will be like, dude, you gotta hate Scuba, right? Because he swears and burps and talks about chicks and stuff. And I'm like, no, man, he's showing me there's a market out there. Like, I commend that. I applaud that. If you can't appreciate his quality of video, he's very purposeful with his approach, right? He's not coming at it. He kind of self-degrades himself and almost brings himself down to be like the common man and be he essentially is trying to be the cool friend that all these guys never had, right? They always wanted to be in that circle and they couldn't be in it. So he's that for them. And people always want to like pit me against him or pit me against Beard Brand. I'm like, no, like anybody succeeding is good for me. That is a good thing. I want that, right? That's good.
I think one of the things as well, it's like find something that you want to do, but when you're doing it, be you. Be true to you. And like Scuba, like burping, talking about girls, that's him. That's who he is.
Him.
Yeah, that's him. And that's when it's good. Like, for example, like, I mean, you guys know, I like to talk a bit of shit.
Really, you?
It's me. I talk a bit of crap. I'm a bit of an arsehole, a bit of a cunt. and I'll let my personality come through my brand. And if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't be true to myself. But most importantly, I wouldn't be enjoying it. If I was being someone I wasn't, I wouldn't enjoy this journey as much as I would. And I think that's the important thing. It's like, you have your style down, Scuba has his, Jordan, you've got yours. Everyone's got their own style. It's just, as long as you're true to yourself on your journey, then you can enjoy it. And don't try and chase followers. Don't try and chase people to buy your stuff. Like, if you're going to be you can be honest, people will come and it'll work. You know what I mean?
You can feel when it's not too. You can feel when people are copying. You can feel, and people will say that to me all the time too. Hey man, this person's they're doing this exact video, this same style. They're saying what you're saying. And I'm like, I don't worry about that. It all works itself out. You know, like it's not something that I get offended on.
In the way,
I brilliant. Doesn't bother me when someone sees that. If obviously they're at a smaller point or a newer point. They've probably seen me before. So if you're thinking it, somebody else is thinking it. So it's like, I never worry about that stuff because it always shows through. You can tell when people aren't being themselves, and especially with how connected we are now, like our lives are so available that you can see, like I did an IG live earlier with my sons. Like if I acted different, you would see it when I was with my 3-year-old son, like it's, you can't hide nowadays.
For sure.
It's true.
And also people, I mean, I see people copying content or even like maybe not fully copy it, but a little bit, but it's like also understanding that that's actually part of their journey. I mean, they're still trying to find their feet. I mean, they know a lot of people don't have the vision of where they want to get to. They're on that journey, and they'll try this, they'll try that. And over time, they'll figure out their route, and then they'll get their personal identity. And
they don't even know they're doing it. They watch someone for so long. Let's say they watched me for 2.5 years now. They don't even realize that, like, the way I go about my videos, my segments, the things I say was something that I created. That's all they've seen. So they assume that's how reviews are done. I always relate it to, I'm a massive Joe Rogan fan, and I'm sure most of you are, judging by the people we've talked about with Jocko and everybody. He talks about almost every comedian when they start, they're just imitating. And they don't realize it. And he goes, I remember the time when I was in Boston, I was getting booed. He's like, I was just being somebody else. I was just doing their style. And it wasn't me, and it didn't start clicking until I started doing my style. And I think you're exactly right. Most of the time, there's a few that I think are intentionally trying to pull some blinds over people and stuff, and that shows over time. But there's a lot that are just starting. They don't know otherwise. And let's say they'll say things like Scuba, right? How he like fake swears, like, God, mom, shut the fudge and stuff. And they'll start doing that. And it's like cringe. You're like, oh man, you're copying him. But they don't know they're doing it. And so, but eventually if they stick it out, then they kind of, they find their own style. They find their own niche, and it's
find your own voice.
It's part of the journey. Yeah. That was really well said.
I think that's just how we learn. That's just how we learn. Like when I'm teaching my clients and stuff, or even myself, like as I've learned, like I am the result of all the instructors and stuff that I've learned before me. And all my students they're learning how I do things, but eventually they're going to get to the point where they put their own flavor on it. So I think at first we do learn by imitating, and then eventually we're like, you know what, I got it, but now it's my turn.
And it's going back to that whole thing we were talking about earlier about evolution. It's about evolving, and it's it's like you look at your parents. Your parents show you how to do something, and then you learn that way. You learn those values, those morals, and then you put your own values and morals with that, and you evolve and you become sometimes better, sometimes worse. But it's about being yourself. You do you put your own spin on it, and I think that definitely that's how you'll do it.
For sure.
So, one question, Dan. Future plans. What's next for Dan C. Bearded?
So I'm a big time goal oriented person, like I told you. I'm gonna forever keep this content going. I think that people are like, don't you run out of content and stuff? And I'm like, no, I've got more content than days. I have series that can go forever. Like the carrier oil series is gonna soon expand to be the butter series, and expand to be the fragrance and essential oil series. So I mean, it's awesome. The content is forever, and so that's not going to change. But my biggest goal, this is my number one, and I've been in the workings for this for about 6 months now, but we're going to not do it until it's right. And it's probably about 5 years down the road. But I want to have a daily podcast and bring all of my closest friends. Like, I don't know if you guys know my moderators on my channel and on my Facebook group. They're my best friends in real life. We go to B-dubs every Saturday. Well, not right now, but we go to B-dubs every Saturday. And we all kind of came together through this beard journey. One of them, Tim, I was at an open house for school to start the year to meet everybody. He came up, he was like, hey man, great beard. I'm like, oh, thank you. And then the next day I get an email. He was like, man, I didn't realize you were Dan C. Bearded. You're my son's teacher. And then we just became super close friends. And so my guys on my channel are actually like in my life, and there's nothing wrong with being elsewhere, but it's just special when they all live here. So I want to take those guys with me.
Cool.
And they all have very specific skills that will translate. Tim is a technology guy for a living. He runs a hospital with the tech side.
Cool.
The mayor will be kind of like my co-host with me. I have a guy named Doug who's an audio video teacher at a high school, so he'll run the audio video stuff.
Cool.
My buddy Joel is in PR for GM, so he'll be kind of our PR guy. And then my buddy Jake is a professional comedian, so he was on my like handlebar video that did with me. So he'll be like writing and creative and stuff. So we want to have a daily podcast that is we talked about like inspiration, and I want to take inspiration from a lot of places. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Pat McAfee. He's a punter for the Colts for a long time, but he has a podcast now that's my favorite in the world. And same concept. He brought his buddies with him, but it's sports based. But I also want to put in a little bit of like Joe Rogan style with the guests and the way he has interviews. But I also love Sean Evans, who's the host of Hot Ones.
So good.
I love his interview style and all this stuff kind of into ours. And it's going to be like based on just being men, right? Just being a men lifestyle. We'll have beard care in there, health. We'll have sports. We'll have anything you can imagine, and we'll also wrap in like current events and interviews. And that's the biggest goal. A daily podcast where all my friends get to retire from their job and we run it together. We actually like make it big and not just talk about it. It's something that is really in the works. LLC is already done.
Nice.
We have a lot of stuff that's going. So that's the biggest goal right now is building the brand, building the trust, building the awareness, and then let it branch from there and have some big ideas. So that's my main goal on top of continuing this. This is my everything. This will be the biggest. This is number one, but that's going to be a big thing. I would love to start a couple of channels. A history channel is definitely on my radar. I also want to do a beef jerky review channel. I'm obsessed with different beef jerkies. So
I've got some input for that.
Big one. Wednesday nights we do a different beef jerky every week, and we highlight the company, and usually the owner comes in and stuff. So I want to do something with that. Those are kind of the main things that are cooking right now.
Awesome, man. You know, when people say about people always like throw that cliche around, like living the dream. Like, see, hearing you talk about that idea and what your plan is and the passion behind it, that's living the dream.
Yeah,
that's literally living the dream. That's awesome.
It's crazy.
Well, how like that team, you get like the X-Men of beards like assembled right there, right? You got it sounds like destiny, man. Like you have this just like synergistic, symbiotic relationship with like your friends, and everything just fell into place perfectly to make that happen. I say roll with that, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very, very excited. The mayor is already an employee of mine. Not to sound like douchey or anything, but I pay him really well. It's more than most people's like part-time jobs and stuff. And he does the stream with me, of course. He's now making videos. Today's video was his business beard routine, and he does a lot of stuff behind the scenes too. So like that's a dream of mine to be able to. If you haven't seen the video, there's a video of Pat McAfee called "Give the Boys a Bag," and they signed a huge deal with FanDuel to like sponsor his podcast. So he went to all his buddies who are his best friends growing up, and he knocked on their door and threw a duffel bag at them, and each one had $50,000. And so it's his show, right? It's the Pat McAfee show. He could have banked all that and kept paying his guys their normal salary, but you take care of those around you. You take care of the people that support you, and I will never ever forget that. And I want to bring everybody. If you're rising by yourself, what fun is that? You know, I want to bring everybody with me. And so not to say that I'm going to be some crazy millionaire and all this stuff, but if we can do that as a job and we're all together every day, oh my, like that's crazy. That's wild to think about.
That's motivating.
For sure.
It is, man.
Yeah, so 5 years. 5-year plan is that.
Cool.
Nice. I love it. I love a plan.
Can't wait to see what happens.
You've got to have a plan. You've got to have a vision. You've got to have a goal. You have to.
Yep. Yeah, kind of. Also, like with me, like doing this podcast, I've put so much time into it recently because like I wanted to just do this all the time. Like this and then like doing like other videos, because it's I have the most fun doing this of anything that I do.
And then just keep that and it'll work out as long as you have it. There's some things that you find out for yourself along the way. There's some things you have inside that separate people, but as long as that's why you're doing it, right? When I get messages, and I get them all the time from content creators, hey man, I'm trying to get a little bit of extra cash on the side. What advice do you have for me? I don't. You already lost. Like you failed.
Yeah.
Like, if you came into that with the hopes of making cash, you're thinking quick. You're thinking that early money. I didn't make a penny for 6 months, 6+ months.
Yeah.
More than that. Like I don't even remember how long it was. And so it's like the people that make it are the ones that aren't thinking that, right? If you were starting Beard Tings and you were like, this year I need to make X amount of dollars to be able to survive, your company's not going to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, man, go.
I used to be a chef. Believe it or not, I went to Le Cordon Bleu. There's a hotel here called Omni, and I was a sous chef and then the interim executive chef at this place called Bob's Steak and Chop House out of Texas. They have it here in Nashville. And I was in extreme burnout. Like I was miserable. I was a-hole to everybody. I spent half my day yelling, and not like in the charming Gordon Ramsay way. I was just but it was great money. And I was at that point, and it kind of goes what you're saying is I had this his name is Rod Gapayo, amazing dude. His son was a corpsman in the Navy, and so like we kind of bonded over those backgrounds. And he looked at me one day, and he was in my office, and I was like, I don't think I could do this anymore. Like I'm dying. I hate it. And he goes, Adam, he goes, sometimes you need to take a few steps back so you can leap forward. And I was like, man. And I sat there in my office just doing orders, like, ordering salmon and shit from Scotland. And I was like, man, it just hit me. I still fall back on that. And I quit. I put my 2 weeks notice in that evening, and then I moved on. And I got out of the industry, thank God, before COVID, because I work in healthcare now, so I got a pretty secure gig. But but I always remember that. I always remember Rod saying that, like, sometimes you got to take a step back so you can leap forward. Like,
yeah.
And I did. That was scary. I quit a very high salary job, and just I didn't work for 10 months. I just lived real frugally. My wife had an okay job, and luckily I'd already had my truck was paid off at the time, and then it just wasn't for me anymore. And that was some of the best advice I ever got. And
yeah, man,
kind of goes what you're saying is I don't know. It's got to move forward, thriving.
In this,
Adam, I feel like I'm literally in the exact same position as what you just described. The last 15 years of my life, I worked in hospitality. All this happened. I was comfortable with myself. I was earning good money, but I was miserably unhappy with my career path. And I've taken a step back. And now I'm thriving forward, and I'm loving it. It's the best thing I've ever done, was getting out of that industry and just doing something that I loved. It's fantastic. It's amazing.
I think you said earlier, Andy, is the reset button. I'm like I'm like an old skate dog. I skateboard. I teach my sons how to skate, and I was teaching my youngest how to ollie. My little guy, and he'll get like tense up. I was like, stop. I was like, if you're not feeling it, just get off your board, walk around, then get back on. Like you need to, if you're not feeling something, you just need to step off and start all over again. Like that's, I mean, you could do that with your life. I mean,
totally.
Dan's lucky. He's, teacher, and you can see the work that goes in it. Like you just did your before and after thing, recently, I remember. But it's sometimes you just need to reset, stop, take the risk, not care about the money. And just roll.
It's a scary thing to do, though, isn't it?
Well, that's why nobody does it. That's why people work 30 years in a job they hate.
Don't worry about the money. Do something else. Oh yeah, sounds great, but holy fuck, that's scary. That's a scary thing to do. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna miss out on my money. I mean, how am I gonna support myself? How am I support my family? Great, easy to say, but the thing is, it sounds more scary. But once you do it, it's like, wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Look how good it is. You know what I mean?
You know what
Yeah,
knows is if you've got loved ones and you have people that rely on you, no matter what your life throws at you, somehow it works. Like I wasn't ready to have kids, but we've never gone hungry. I don't know. I don't have no idea. Acts of God, but everything has always worked out. And I had a buddy who was curious about it. He's like, man, like, I don't know if I'm ready to have kids. Like, dude, you're never ready. But when it happens, I promise you, everything will work out. Like somehow, like you'll have no money, but you'll find steak for dinner. Like it's insane. And I think as long as you've got someone that relies on you, things work out. Even if it's just you, like you're a single man, but you've got your future lying on that. That's you're relying on yourself. So I think as long as you've got that foundation and you're acutely aware of it, you can't fail. Even if you fail, you're wiser. You've learned more. You can kind of adjust. You can adapt and overcome, like you said earlier, and then you can move forward. And I think that fear is what like I said is what makes people work 30 years, putting a single bolt in the same piece of steel their entire lives, and they die of heart attack, or they smoke or drink, into their last hours. Like it's escapism, and that's never healthy.
Yeah. And I'm pretty lucky in this unique position where I have this content creation that's kind of taken over my life. But as a teacher, I still love teaching. Like I don't dread going on to my remote teaching and stuff. So there's no like threat of me being like, I got to leave this. And I do make much more off the beard side of my life than I do the teaching side of my life. But having that steady job, having that insurance, having that in my life is very valuable. And as of this point, the schedule is not really hindering what I do with the YouTube channel. Now, later down the road, if I have the podcast, the daily thing, that's a different story. But right now, it doesn't hinder what I do. So I'm super, super lucky in that regard where I don't have to make those tough decisions. But I would still be fine even if I left teaching. But I love that I can still teach. I can still have that connection and that grounding, and then still be able to do this. I just, like I said, I just sleep less.
Yeah. And that's one of the parts of it as well. It's the teaching gives you. It's like about you can do any job and you can do anything. Like people always say, chase happiness in life, but to be happy, you need to have meaning. Like having a meaningful life or something. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but like maybe the teaching for you is a big part of the meaning. Being able to give that, giving back to people. Especially like you're teaching kids. I mean, there's no more noble way of living your life than to help and teach.
For sure, and I thoroughly believe I help guys, and I get messages all the time how it's changed their life, and they're now healthy and they're confident, all that stuff. But I also it's a different way with the kids because they're at such a young point in their age, and it's such a different like path they can take. I tried not to overdo it, but from time to time I'll take the name out, but I'll post like notes or messages that former students have. And I posted one probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was a girl actually. Everyone assumed, they messaged me and they're like, dude, that's so cool. You made a connection with that boy, with that kid. And I was like, no, it's actually a girl. And she was like, essentially, I failed every single class I've ever had until yours. You didn't talk to me like I was dumb. You made it exciting. You truly changed my life and the way I look at school. And she's doing well now and stuff. And yeah, I can't duplicate that anywhere. I mean, that's
amazing,
wild. So
and that's worth more than anything you'll ever make.
And I
sort of business, you know what I mean?
I don't mind doing it
more than monetary value.
Right. And that's the thing is I don't dread, like I always think about that. I have buddies that literally, and it's sounds like again cliche, but I have buddies that go to cuticles or they go and work on the line at GM, and man, they can't wait till the weekend. And like for me, I wake up now, I'm like, oh, all right, I get to literally go tell stories. Like my job's pretty good. And then I'll hear like math teachers complain. I'm like, it's not my fault you chose the wrong subject. Like that's like I chose this. You got to pick. Like, what is wrong? Like, it's like me and the gym teachers are like, "What's up, man? How you doing? Good, man. Good. You? Yep, good." Everybody else is just mad.
Yeah, totally.
Was that in the Navy? We had that saying, "Choose your rate, choose your fate."
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, seriously. Yeah, you chose to do math. like, I got to grade 700 papers this weekend. Hey, you chose language arts. That's
Yeah.
your bad. I
Yeah.
don't know why you would do that.
Facts.
I'm paying attention. I'm at work, so I go on vacation starting tomorrow though. Cannot wait.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have 120 hours of PTO. That's how long it's been since I've taken a day off.
Wow.
So if that says anything. It's a lot of time off.
Nice, man.
I'm
Enjoy
about to
it.
max out. So well, COVID, healthcare and COVID.
True. Yeah. Dan, I got a question for you. When you're working on a video, what does that process usually look like from start to finish?
Woo. So not all videos are created equally. I can say that. Some take much more work, much more time. My easiest videos are my review videos. Those are cake. I don't really have to think about those much. I start by testing the products for usually about 4 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks if it's a company that I've had before. But I at any given time have 3 or 4 companies that I'm trying. So it's not a solid 4 weeks. It's a 4 weeks where I wear, it depends how many products. Like Bahawat was one oil. So I wore that, I think 6 or 7 times.
Okay.
And I have a pretty good idea. I mean, I like to wear it at least after a wash day, at least after a rinse day, a conditioner day, wash and conditioner. To have all the different conditions and stuff that's going on. So I'm not like shot for one, but I wear it over the course of a month, intermittent, because my beard doesn't like to wear. I could wear my favorite company every day, and my beard wouldn't like it. My beard likes diversity for some reason. And I've said there's no science behind that. There's nothing to back it up. It's just my anecdotal evidence. So I'll do that, and then I'll research the company, get some information on them. But after that, it's just me talking about what I think. Like, hey, babe, how's this smell? Here's how it feels in my beard. Do I recommend it? Yeah. I'll hear people out and listen to like the reputation and stuff. So those are easy. But a lot of people overlook, like they'll call me a reviewer, but they don't realize that most of my content is not reviews. I do far more videos. I do 3 videos a week. 1 is a review. The other 2 are educational, instructional videos. And I do 2 live streams. So when people call me a reviewer, I don't correct them or anything, but I'm like, I do far more than reviewing. And when people want to like throw hate at me, they try to say like, oh, he just does this. And it's like, well, you forgot about all these other videos that I make. And those videos are much more. So you got the next tier, which would be like instructional, right? My morning routine, my styling and stuff. That's easier. That's just me talking about what I do.
For sure.
The research videos are the one where those are really tough because the main thing is I've set the bar where if I'm going to put it out, it's going to be right.
For sure.
Like a lot of people start videos and like, this is just my thoughts, this is me, and like I'll do that in reviews. But if I'm putting an informational video, I'm to the point now where I'm almost positive it's correct. I'm not going to put out stuff because I have a very serious responsibility. People are gonna listen, and if I'm wrong, there can be major repercussions with that. So the research ones are a lot more effort. It involves doing my own research. It involves and there's not a lot of people that know how to do research. I have bachelor's
You're a
from
guinea pig too.
Right, yeah. So I have a bachelor's from the University of Michigan, and then I have 2 master degrees. And what I learned in those was almost nothing. I did not receive any education for what they were intended for. But what I did learn by getting 2 master degrees in 5 years too, by the way, was jumping through, completing the process. And one thing that you have to learn, at least with these masters, is you have to know how to research. That was one of the only things. I didn't have I never had a single test in either master's degree. Everything was papers. Everything was research. Everything was a thesis paper. So I had to know how to research. I had to know how to cite my sources. I had to know how to know what was good research and what was just garbage, and look at where they're coming from, who's funding it, all that stuff. So I did learn how to research, and that was important. So when I do the videos, there's a lot of research. I also like to talk to a lot of people. A lot of them come from experience with working with the lab that I do and the consulting and all that. So those ones are the longest to prepare for. And then I have essentially like a rough plan. I've talked to you about this, Jordan, where I don't write my script. I don't have a teleprompter. I don't look at anything. But I have like talking points. So I'll know I'm going to talk here, I'm going to talk there. And I let my knowledge, I guess you could say, or my info take over from that point. And I kind of talk through it. And then I transfer it to my computer. I edit it, I upload it onto YouTube, I
Mhm.
optimize the description, the tags, the title, I make a thumbnail, I schedule it, I
Mhm.
post it, and then from there I answer the comments, and then I
Mhm.
try to market it in the best classy way possible.
For sure.
And that's the main process.
Yeah,
That's
the work
awesome.
shows.
For
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Especially because I've dropped a few dollars since I started watching you.
Yep. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of serious, because like I said, if I do a review and I say something's gonna be, I don't know if you guys saw, but I just recently did the view. It's actually my last review. It was last week. It was Dash for Men,
That's
or
for him. Yeah.
Dash for Him.
That's for him.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I really wanted to like them. They were
Yep.
based on this company's owner. His son went into a coma and came out of the coma and was like, hey, kind of same thing, did a reset button, was like, I need to do something purposeful. I need to help. So he made this company based on giving charities and based on giving back.
Mhm.
But I know the products were not quality for my beard, but also I don't agree with the ingredients and stuff, right? The butter
Okay.
that has water as the first ingredient and a preservative
Huh.
in it.
Yeah.
I did not like the ingredients he had on the oil.
Mhm.
And if I would have came out and gave this great story and said, hey, and all things true, right? If I would have said this guy is he's doing it for his son, he's doing it to change the world, and his products are cool, give him a try, support the company, people are going to get that, and then they're
For
going to be
sure.
like, wow, it's a cool story, but this stuff is garbage, Dan. I spent my own money. I'd rather just donate to the charity than have you tell me buy these products. So
Yep.
I take that serious, but also the research videos are serious, right?
For
There's
sure.
not just consumers, but companies watch these things. And I've had a
Mhm.
couple videos that have really shook stuff up, but I was
Mm.
always confident in it because
Yep.
I knew as time settled, the video would last. Like
Yep.
one that I had that got so much heat and got so many people angry at me and said I was
Yeah.
causing all a stir was that water-based products required a preservative. I didn't say they should just have a preservative. They need a preservative.
Yeah.
Because the talk was like all natural or bust. If you don't have all natural products, you shouldn't be going on your face. Well, if there's water in a product, it needs to have a preservative. And now
Yeah.
that seems like common knowledge. Everyone's like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, of course. Duh. 2 years ago, it wasn't. I had caught the most heat in my entire YouTube career when I dropped that video, and people thought I was the most blasphemy. I was a sellout. I was going corporate and all this stuff, and it was so mind blowing to me. But I never got defensive. I never like fired back. I just let time settle. And now those same companies that I received literal hate messages from now randomly have preservatives in their conditioners. Now have preservatives in their wash.
Mm.
Same with my fragrance video, and I talk about the fragrance levels. And there's been a few like that. And when I put it out, I know it's going to get under scrutiny. I know it's going to be picked apart, so I got to make sure it's right. And
For sure.
I enjoy those ones the most because they take a very, very long time to kind of cultivate and make sure it's right.
Mhm.
There's some topics I haven't covered. I want to, but I don't know for a fact they're right, so I just haven't made them yet.
Yeah. Fair.
And others would kind of rush to make those. So those videos are the most rewarding for me because it's a lot that goes into it, but it's fun to see as time passes how they settle.
I think that's one of the beauties about kind of basing your content around facts a lot about, rather than opinion, is because facts stand the test of time, whereas opinions change, and it must be quite satisfying to when you put that research in and you get that data and you show it, and people will always disagree with facts. People like to get their egos or their personal interest, mixed up with facts.
Yep.
But the good thing about fact is that it always stands the test of time. So it must be quite satisfying to see that after 2 years. Well, yeah,
one of my favorite ones. I really pissed off some dudes in the UK, and it was specifically a UK company, and then some of his like ambassadors, and one of them was a YouTube content creator. I think he's quit since then, but was my video about beard oil does not hydrate. And for me, I did not plan on that video being some big, huge, I think still to this day, it's my most disliked video on the channel. And to me, it's like a concept that blows my mind that people are arguing and saying that oil hydrates. And I'm like, do you understand? Okay, and then the best way I try to put it to people that don't understand is I say, okay, hydrating, right? To bring water, hydro, right? Let's break down the word to bring water.
Yeah.
Now go, if you are sick and you're dehydrated, you need hydration, please go
drink
to
some
the
cooking oil.
hospital and drink an IV of oil. Do an IV of oil and tell me how hydrating beard oil is. And and they never have a response for that. And it was you may know it. Now, I usually don't say names, but this company it was hilarious. I don't mind saying their name. It was something Bear, and it's in the UK, and they've got a bunch of ambassadors. Shoot, what is it? They have a bear in their mascot. And there was a YouTube guy that was a content creator, and he would make story after story on Instagram and was like, I'm a scientist, I'm this. I'm like, you're not a very good one if you think beard oil hydrates. What you can't, if you apply beard oil to dry skin, is the skin now magically have water there? No.
This disclaimer: as a paramedic, we are not recommending that anyone hydrates with oil.
You don't do the oil IV treatments.
Don't do it.
People are going to start telling us we prescribed injecting disinfectant.
Yeah, right.
Hey, gentlemen, I gotta log off and make my hour commute home.
All right.
Pleasure. Thanks for everything you do, Dan. I'll talk to all you guys at one point again.
All right.
Easy, man. All right.
Enjoy your vacation.
I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks again.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do you guys know what company that is, like Golden Bear or? Oh man.
You know what? I mean, I've only been doing this for a year, or just under a year now. I haven't actually heard of them.
They have. Come on, Jordan.
The Brighton Beard Company, no.
Oh, the Brighton Beard Company, yeah.
Nope, not them.
Grizzly Beard Co.
Nope, not Grizzly.
Golden Bear Beard Co.
Something like that. Is that them?
Hold up.
There's only 91 followers. It can't be them.
No.
Sure.
Hold up.
I think at the moment in the UK there's some really good. I think Odin's Beard Care is one of the fastest growing companies.
Yeah, they've been very aggressive. He reached out to me like from the very beginning, and I noticed the unique labels and stuff, and what they were doing, and he's hit me up at several different points, but has never pulled the trigger on going for it.
Yeah. One thing his oils are great, his balms are great, but of everything that he does, his butters are incredible. Like, he has one scent. It's honey, tobacco, and black pepper butter.
Okay.
For me, it is literally my favorite product I've used. It's incredible. I'm actually wearing it now. It's incredible. Absolutely. That's incredible. Awesome. He's got some really good ideas. He's just come out with like a premium range as well for his oils. So, like, you know how he has like the Loki scent, the Thor scent, the Odin scent. Like, he names each scent after a different Viking, like Norse mythology god. He's just come out with new artwork and like a new carrier oil base. So a premium oil base for each one. Cool. And it looks really, really good, actually. He's doing really well with his sales. I speak to him quite regularly. He's doing amazing. For one guy that sleeps on his sofa, he's doing very well.
That's cool. Really and where is he out of? Yeah. Is it England?
He's out of Barnsley, so Yorkshire, near Manchester, sort of thing. So yeah, he's doing great. There's Big Fat Beard, which are in Northern Ireland. That he's very new, but he's got some great products, really cool products. Who else is doing good in the UK at the moment? Balbo. Oh no, have you heard of Sugar Beard?
Yep. They've reached out. They got like the skulls and stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, so for me, I know I sound English. I'm actually Scottish. I'm fully Scottish. There's a drink over here. It's my favourite drink in the world called Iron Brew. Mm-hmm. If you can imagine cream soda, but way sweeter and way tastier, they make an Iron Brew version of beard oil.
Oh, cool.
Interesting.
Super sweet, but I mean, for Scottish people, it's just life. It's life in a bottle. It's so goddamn good.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing. But yeah, they're really good. And Balbo Beard Care, are a cool company. They got some good stuff. But apart from them, I mean, there's this new company. I forgot what they're called. They're amazing. Oh, Beard Tings. Oh, that's the one. had to do it. I had to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, there's some cool stuff coming in the UK. Well, I love the UK beard community.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm new to it, but I've only been in it a short time. But all the other owners of companies, they're so helpful. They give me advice. They talk me through like the kind of CPSR process, like how
Mhm.
to do a business, what's the best, even down to like what's the best bank account to use. They're
Oh,
so
cool.
helpful. It's a great community in the UK with like the bearded like company like community. It's
Yeah.
brilliant. I've met some really cool people, and it's just I haven't met anyone that's nothing but friendly. It's been really good.
Cool. That's awesome. Dan, another question. Would you ever think about starting your own beard company and doing your own products at some point down the road?
No.
All right,
No.
there you go.
I get all of the benefits that beard companies are looking for without any of the downfalls.
For sure. Yep.
So I literally my Artiest Man collab, I literally created every aspect of that oil. From I redesigned their whole carrier blend down to the ratios. I created the scent profile, not just said, hey, I want it to smell like this with this and this. I actually put the potency. I got the actual different versions. I mean, we did things like green mandarin and neroli and things that aren't just common ones. And so I don't have to deal with customers. I don't have to deal with someone saying, hey, I thought this was going to smell like candy canes and it doesn't. Can I trade it and send this back? No, like I would have to be a successful company. You have to almost absorb that. And that's like so hard for my soul to handle that. And I consult, I create, I make a living off this stuff. I don't want to spend my time and there's avenues where you don't have to physically be shipping and creating and stuff. There's one of my favorite companies in the US, the Beard Baron. He doesn't touch products. He established it and has a distribution center and everything. So there's ways you could do that, but I don't have an interest in that right now. I've kind of carved out my market, and I really, really like where I'm at. And there's nothing appealing to me about that side, just for me personally.
Cool. Speaking of the Artiest Man collab, how did that come about? Like, did they like initially reach out to you, or?
Yeah, so I've never reached out to a single company in this entire journey, and that's super important to me, because I feel like if I reach out to someone, I owe them. And I feel like when people are begging companies, send me free products, send me this, no matter how real, no matter how raw they are, there's still a human element where they're like, I asked for this thing, now I'm going to go like crap on it. Like I can't quite do that. So I've never reached out to a single company, Artiest Man included. They reached out early on and tried the products. I was very honest. I didn't like them. They reached out later and were like, hey, we know you don't like these, but we love your content. What about doing a video where you do a giveaway? And so I gave them my normal fee, even though it wasn't a product I was reviewing or anything like that. And we did a giveaway because I knew so many followers liked their products. So I had no problem doing that. It wasn't a quality issue I had. It was more of a personal preference issue.
Yeah, for sure.
And so then they started becoming really active on the channel. They were joining every live stream I had. They were commenting away. It was really cool. Awesome. And it was actually born in a live stream. Somebody was like, oh man, I would love for you to get together with Dan. And I was like, yeah, man, I would love for, and they were like, we'd love to work with Dan. That's a dream of ours. And I was like, I would love to get you guys to have a thin oil. And they were like, next day, they're like, all right, let's do this. Let's hop on. Let's start figuring it out. And it was probably a good, 4 to 5 month process and to creation and got it out. And it was moved quick. Once we got it finalized, it was within 2 weeks, because they're a pretty large company. So they were able to, they're like, all right, let's hammer out the labels. Let's get everything going. We'll get all the bottles, we'll get it ready, we'll get a video and stuff. So it was pretty quickly. So it just kind of came about naturally. It was really fun.
That's awesome.
I like their products, actually. The Artiest, I haven't tried Artiest Man, but I like the design of their bottles. It's really consistent. It's crisp. It's
clean.
Yeah, clean. That's actually one of the, I saw you review them. One of the things, I'm not a massive fan of their products, but one of my favorite looking brands is Copenhagen Gruben.
Dude, so
I love the look.
Their bottling and stuff.
It's incredible.
I still use their scissors. I still use a couple other things.
Amazing.
That was another one that I was very honest. I even charged them more than my normal review because I didn't want to do the review. I had looked at the ingredients beforehand. I knew I wasn't going to like them. And I was like, I don't want to do this. Let me just throw a big number out there. And they're like, yes. I'm like, oh, what the heck? So I did the review. But again, if you go watch it, I'm perfect. And sometimes people confuse that. They think like a negative review, you got to be swearing, you got to be like dogging them, saying this is garbage. I was very professional, very mature, but I very clearly said I do not recommend this product. It does not work for my beard. They actually reached out to me again. They have a new product and they sent it out and they're like, we'll try it out and then we'll discuss a review, but they never came back. This was probably like 4 months ago. So I have the product. But they never like reached back out to me again.
Okay.
Because the funny thing with them is like, it's a beard company, but their best products aren't actually for beards. Like, I mean, I use their moisturizer every day. It's such a good moisturizer.
Oh, I have that. That's the new product. It's good.
Greenkeeper. It's great.
I literally have that upstairs.
Yeah, and their beard wash, 8 a.m. splash. I think that's really good. I'm not a fan of their oil. I'm not a fan of their balm's more of like a hair gel. And the oil was like
it's a serum, right?
Yeah, it's strange. It's really strange.
Yeah.
But the 8 a.m. splash to wash, it's like the reason I don't like using shampoos and conditioners on my beard is it takes out all the the natural oils and good. It just dries my beard out.
Yeah.
That 8 a.m. splash stuff, it just like gets rid of the dirt, but it keeps my beard like. It feels more natural after rather than using like a shampoo and conditioner.
So is their moisturizer?
So I think it's good.
Their moisturizer not intended for the beard? That's a skin moisturizer?
The moisturizer is skin moisturizer. It's literally just for your skin.
Oh, see, I thought it was I haven't tried it. I was waiting for them to contact me again because I don't review things until like everything's agreed on. So I'm not just going to use your products, right? And part of it's out of respect for what I'm currently reviewing. If I'm reviewing something, they get a slot. I compromise, like companies reach out like, hey, we don't want to review, but can we just send you our products? And normally I'd be honored, but I just don't have like the amount of days. Like there's only so many days in a year. So I haven't tried it, but I literally have that product upstairs. And they've always been up. They responded really well. So it was a negative review. I didn't recommend it. They were very professional in their response. But I think I know they have several employees and I think they got some money behind them. So they're pretty legit.
I mean, there are. I mean, I love their marketing. You can tell they're a really professional company, and they're really like up to date with like they're very up to date with social media and like how it works. They know what they're doing. They've got some. I mean, I imagine the majority of their employees don't have beards. They just know what they're doing online. You know what I mean? So like, they know what they're doing. But the funny thing, I mean, as I said, they're a beard brand, but their best products aren't for beards. Like honestly, their moisturizer is incredible. I love it.
Cool.
It works for me perfectly. But needed a moisturizer anyway. So yeah, brilliant.
And there's interesting ones for like different beards. Like Artius Man often fits like shorter beards, right? Like more like business style beards. It works really well because it kind of gives them a little bit more styling and stuff too. So that's always interesting to think about.
That's the feeling I got from Copenhagen grooming. I felt that it was more for short beards because obviously their serum. I love a pipette dropper because you need to put it to your skin. You need to get it down to your skin. But the serum's like a squirty thing. So you need to have a short beard. You can just rub it into. It,
And their market seems like a young man's market, which often young man's markets appear more short beards, right?
Yeah.
Pretty boy beards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, don't get choked out. No talking about pretty boy beards. No.
I got a question here. If you could give new beardsmen one piece of advice, what would it be? And you guys can all answer this.
New beardsmen, so just guys growing a beard?
Like starting out, like they're growing a beard for the first time. Like they're not like before they like probably haven't checked out your channel. They're just kind of starting out. Like what's one thing that you would want to tell them?
Okay. I'll give 3 because I think they're all really important. One is increase your water intake. Most
Yep.
guys are dehydrated, and the number one way you can feel it is with your beard. Your beard is like a thermometer for your body's health. It's going to tell you how healthy you are, and especially with water. So drink more water. Number 2 is beard oil. I think beard oil is the most important product possible. If you can only have one thing, you need beard oil more so than butter, than conditioner, than wash, anything. Beard oil. And then number 3 is get your significant other involved, because no matter how healthy your beard is, no matter how good it looks, no matter all the products you have, if your fiance does not like your beard, it's going to die. Like, not because of health reasons, but she's going to likely take it out at some point by just beating you down. So get her involved by having her pick out scents, by if the beard company has women's line, order her a women's line thing. So when she gets, when you get beard mail, she's not sitting there like, oh my God, another beard mail. And you're like, yeah, baby, here you go. And you hand her the lotion or whatever. So that I think is grossly underestimated, is getting her invested in your beard will help the healthier beard, literally.
Yeah.
Healthier relationship as well.
Yeah, for sure. So those are my 3. I'm gonna, as you guys answer, I'm gonna grab another drink.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Andy, do you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, I think my one, it's just one bit of advice. I think it's have some beard inspiration. Find, if you want to grow a beard, I think, the reason I grow a beard is because I saw someone with a beard that I really like the look of. And I think it's not just have that inspiration, but understand how you're going to get it to look like that. The first time I grew a beard, like I royally messed. I just grew it everywhere. I didn't understand. I didn't look at the end goal. I didn't have a goal. I just thought, I want my beard to look like that. I'm going to grow it, and then it didn't look like that. And I got uninspired and I shaved it off. I think you've got to look at what you want, like have a goal of what you want it to look like, but try and understand how you're going to make it look that way. I think because what I did is I grew it, like say it's like this length here, it was the same length here. And I just looked like a big round-faced caveman. And it looked stupid. So I think it's have some inspiration, have a goal,
for sure,
but then also try to understand and think about how you're going to make it look that way, and keep trimming it, keep maintaining it as well, keep on top of it.
For sure.
Keep trimming those lines, keep cutting those bits down here, make sure it's neat, make it look tidy, because as soon as it starts looking crap, you get demotivated and you think, fuck it, and you shave it off. So it's have faith and have a goal. There
you go. And then Alex, what about you?
I guess I'll piggyback off that. Like, you have to have something that you're going for, but also understand that within your genetics and your beard is going to grow how it's going to grow. And just because it's not looking like, like Andy's beard or like Dan's beard or whoever's beard you admire, don't be disheartened. Like, just grow your beard and make it as badass as you can grow it. And then also understand that while you're growing, you're going to go through like an awkward stage. There's going to be patches and pieces that don't connect. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people, I think, when they're growing their beard, they give up too soon because something isn't coming out the way they want. You got to let it get past its stage and shape it while it's becoming what it's going to become, and then you'll end up with a badass beard in the end.
For sure.
Agree more. Could not agree more.
100%. Yeah, like even when I started, I'll say mine before I get into that. But I would say do some research. Don't just kind of go in blind. Like, check out Dan C's videos. Check out Scuba. Check out, like, there's so many channels out there that have so much great information, and just on YouTube, just free access. Like, you just sit down, like, watch a few videos, and you'll be better off. Like, we've all mentioned it. Like, we've all learned a ton of stuff from like watching videos and learning about products, learning about the different ingredients, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, spot on. There's very few guys that start off killing it. My first product was awful. I was in a store with my wife. This is probably 10 years ago now. Wow. And it was in Ulta because she was shopping for like women's beauty stuff, and they had a little tiny men's section that had beard stuff. It was a company called Billy Jealousy, and she was like, "Hey, I heard like this stuff is good for your beard. You should try it." And we smelled it, and it smelled fantastic. Billy Jealousy has some of the best scents I've ever smelled. And it was awful. It was terrible. My beard was a greasy mess. I had no idea what real beard oil was. And then I made the switch to like the holy grail of new beardsman, and that's Honest Amish. And so I tried Honest Amish, and I'm like, oh, it's supposed to do this. Oh, it smells like crap, but it goes in, it absorbs. Oh, so yeah, there are some, right, who are very, very lucky. My friend, the mayor, he just grew his beard out for the first time last summer as a 40-year-old man. He has never went more than 2 days without shaving in his life. Wow. And his unique circumstance of starting was being my best friend. So he started off on a good foot.
For sure.
Some people find Honest Amish for the first time, but most people are finding subpar products to begin with, whether it is I mean, you see a name that you trust, that you know, right? How many guys have grown up wearing Old Spice deodorant their whole life and have no problems because it's deodorant? And they're like, hey, they make beard oil. Bam, let me try some beard oil. Or you go to the store and there's this massive section of Cremo, and they're like, oh, let me try that. That must be good. They wouldn't carry bad products. And so, doing a little bit of research I always think it's one of my saddest things with the beard game is how many guys tried Old Spice, tried Cremo, tried all the other garbage companies out there for their first beard. And as Alex was saying, they were like, nah, it's not coming in the way I want. It's not liking it. And I feel greasy all the time too. No, this isn't worth it. And they'll never try growing a beard again because they're like, I hear people talk about beard oil. They're full of crap. That beard oil stuff is not good, but they don't actually know what beard oil is.
Yeah, there's so many good ones out there.
Good products make a difference, and like with anything else, like education, dude. Like you got to educate yourself what you're doing. You know, that's not this is like a long-term hobby. You know what I'm saying? You got to educate yourself and put some time into what you're doing.
It's a lifestyle, isn't it? It's a lifestyle.
Absolutely,
for sure. If you guys can all answer this one too. If you were on a desert island and you could only bring products from one company, who would you go with?
I'm gonna go with Beard Tings. That's gonna be my one. So yeah, I'm gonna go Beard Tings here. That's as far as I can go on that question.
Yeah, there you go.
Amazing. There we go.
You can clip that.
I was just gonna say, that's Andy, that clip is coming your way.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We'll do licensing rights later. That's all right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Alex, what about you? If you had to go one
beard product,
like one company.
One company, and I'm stuck on a desert island.
Yeah.
So I would use the coconuts on the island, the water from the ocean, and a Kent comb to keep me in place.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
There you go.
I go all natural. You know?
Nice.
And if I could get Beard Tings to drop some oil every once in a while, I'll take it.
What's it called? What's it called in Call of Duty when you do
supply drop?
That's the one, supply drop.
Yeah.
Prestige.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think I would use anything with a massive amount of biotin in it, so I can grow the longest beard possible and use that to weave ropes and bits of wood together and create a around.
Nice. There you go.
But what I actually mean is Beard Tings, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
There's your promised promo for being on the show.
Yep. Boom. Oh man. I've really been liking Artius Man so far, and I just started using Weird Beard Co. recently. They're a newer company. They've got pretty cool stuff. Then yeah, I'm counting down the days till we get that Beard Tings.
So let me add though, if we were, so I'm from Florida. I'm a Florida boy, so we're in the swamp, and I hang out on the lakes and stuff a lot.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of like bugs and stuff. Grave Before Shave has an outdoorsman blend that has citronella in it.
Ooh.
Okay. And it legit helps keep the bugs away.
Yeah.
Oh.
If I'm in the swamp, I'm going with some citronella.
What's that called? Because in Scotland we have a problem here. They're called.
Oh,
midges.
I want some credit for that one. So it's a citronella. It's grade before shave. It's the Outdoorsman blend, and it has citronella in it, and it absolutely helps with keeping the bugs away. I put you put it in your beard, and then I rub some on my skin, and I even put some on my daughter's legs and stuff before we go out.
Same, yeah. We're big into camping now, and we use ones. There's a company, they just went temporarily under, unfortunately, called Burton's Beard Co. They were out of California.
Okay.
The owner is staying home to teach his children during this remote time. They went homeschool, so he's stepping back. But they had one that was called Trail Therapy, and it was had citronella as well.
Cool.
But also lemongrass is actually made a video on this.
Yeah.
And I talk about the grade before shave and everything. Lemongrass is more as powerful as DEET as or not lemongrass, but there's certain types ones that are very similar to lemongrass, and it's as powerful as DEET with bug repellent. So there's a couple of companies that make some really good ones, but yeah, that's a great one from Grave Before Shave. I actually talk about it in that video, and it does work. It's crazy how it works.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're always wanting to get around your neck, right? They want to go towards those big vulnerable veins, and you have those open spots. And so you put that beard oil in on your cheeks, you put a little bit right there. It truly keeps them away. I put a couple drops on my ankles, and I'm good to go.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get some of that, man, because over here you don't get like big mosquitoes, you don't get big bugs. It's like microscopic almost. Mosquitoes. They call them midges. They're called midges.
Oh, yep.
It's like a short version.
Yeah, we have in Florida, we got the midges, and we call them no-see-ums.
No-see-ums.
Nice.
Yeah.
Horrible little bastards, man.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
We my family, there's an island. You can see it from where I live. It's an island just over the water.
Cool.
And we used to go there for a couple of months every year in the summer and go camping and stuff. And we as kids, we used to actually have to wear beekeeper masks just to keep the fucking midges off our face.
Oh yeah.
It's like walking through a cloud.
Yeah.
You can't see. There's so many. It's horrible.
Yeah. I was blanking, but I just remembered it. The plant that's the most powerful deterrent of them, and it can be used in beard oil, is LOE, lemon of eucalyptus. And that's an actual plant. So LOE.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
To get some of that for the summer. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I bet that smells awesome too, because eucalyptus is always a really good essential oil, and lemon, of course, always is good. So.
Agreed. Yeah,
sure.
I like that smell.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've spent the last few summers working up at a summer camp, and it's just, especially in July, June, July, just horribly buggy, and to the point that normal bug spray, even with super high DEET, doesn't work. So definitely.
And Jordan, you're in Canada, right?
Yep. What
portion?
Ontario.
We're at I'm pretty familiar with Ontario.
Yeah, so I'm about 45 minutes from Toronto.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we obviously right now we haven't, but we love going to Toronto.
Cool.
I coach water polo, played water polo, and there's a big water polo community there, Scarborough. We'd spend a lot of time in Scarborough and stuff. So London has a really good program and stuff.
That's awesome.
Because I'm only a few hours from there.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've driven through Detroit and through other parts of Michigan, on the way to I have cousins who live in Texas. So, going to visit them, go through there, and then on the way back.
So I'm close to where you go over to Canada in Sarnia.
Yeah,
if you're familiar with Sarnia. So is I'm just a half hour from that.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, it's been cool.
I'm gonna travel to Michigan next year.
Cool.
My ex-girlfriend and my daughter lives in Michigan. So
where at?
Detroit.
Really?
Huh. Yeah.
Hey, maybe you'll have to get a hold of me. That's 45 minutes from me.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I haven't been to the States for 15 years, so it'd be good to come back.
Yeah, man, that'd be awesome. Yep, that's right where I'm at. The Murder Man.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I can't wait for this COVID stuff to be over so that we can get back to traveling, because especially in the last few months, meeting all the different beardsmen that I've met, there's so many people that I actually want to like go visit and like hang out with, like across like the US, like through the UK, like
Yeah, before COVID.
I think it was meant to come over to Scotland right at the start of COVID.
Yep.
Which we had to cancel. So he's going to plan it for some other time. But that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were. There was three guys that we were planning a beard convention in Las Vegas.
Yep.
And we had a venue reserved. We had companies lined up. It was going to be like this massive beard meetup, but companies would buy booths and they were going to be like selling products and stuff. And it was actually me, Scuba, and then the guy I mentioned earlier, Scott Barnes.
Wow.
And we had it all done, and then was shut down. So we're hoping we get that back, because we had a weekend booked. It was going to be a just ridiculously good time.
For sure.
That's one of the things I was actually looking at. One of my part of my business plan was to do like a stall, but like at like tattoo conventions, go to like motorbike conventions in the UK, set up a stall. Because I mean, where else are you going to get a massive amount of dudes with beards? You know, like tattoo conventions, big, you know, motorbike conventions.
So barbers do expos all the time. There's hair shows all the time, and they do like, they sample like beard products and stuff like that. But that would be good for like beard tings and stuff to like do a drop like around one of those shows.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Because the women love to buy it for their man too.
For sure.
Yeah. That's one of the things I've actually tried to do with my scents. So I wanted to make them really women friendly. So like, I know like a lot of them are like essential oil based, and I mean I love my essential oils. But I've tried to kind of model most of my scents around colognes that fragrances that I like cologne based, but then adapt them to like the beard. So they're not quite as strong, but they've got a good carry-all blend as well. And it's, oh shit, have I just you're on there now.
Yeah.
I thought I'd just come up with a podcast. I've tried to kind of emulate them around like some fragrances I like, and I love them. I mean, it's personal taste. I love them, but I'm hoping everyone else does as well.
Now, are you live?
That's my sixth sense.
Andy, are you live? Is this company like launched? Are you selling?
I am waiting for one thing. I'm waiting for my bottles and my jars. It's in shipping. It's somewhere on a train in Europe.
Yeah.
My tracking doesn't work, so as soon as it's here, I'm ready to go. So I've been doing it in like, you know, sample bottle. This is nothing like what I'm going to be selling.
Right.
Yeah.
But my actual packaging looks really good. I can't wait to get it. It's like black and gold theme, so it's a little bit blingy, but it's not too blingy. Like I've got the gold chapter, which are the sweeter scents. I've got the black chapter, which are the darker, more kind of cologne-based scents.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, literally as soon as they get here, I'm ready to go. I've got literally everything else. Everything else is safety tested, passed, business insurance, everything done, all good to go. I'm literally waiting on this one thing, and I'm sat by the door every morning like an excited dog. Like an excited dog waiting for the postman, and he's not surprising me every day. So COVID
has wrecked like containers sales, and like nobody.
Oh, for sure.
So many companies had to shift their like conditioner bottles and their beer, because they just can't get the things, because one of the main reasons is so many companies bought up all the containers for hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
So what they were previously using for like beard conditioner bottles, they bought for sanitizer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But this episode won't be live until December 30th. So by that point, Andy will have his packaging.
Yeah.
Mine took longer as well, because I got it all custom printed. So I had to order like 5,000 units, because I wanted to get it all. I didn't want to just buy something and put a sticker on it. I wanted to make it like printed, looking really good.
Yep.
So yeah, I had to buy a lot. So it took a lot of time to print them, a lot of time, and it's also a massive package. So it's coming out. I was going to get it air freighted, but it was going to cost me like £3,000 extra to get it air freighted because of the amount I'm ordering. So I just thought, you know, stick it on a train. I'll wait. Now I'm starting to regret it.
Yeah, fair.
But is what it is. You live and learn, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
Time is money.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
But one of the things I had to do, though, I do love it, is I got my, in my barns, I had to get the little custom guitar picks.
Cool.
the beard Tings logo to kind of dig it out, because they're quite. Instead of using shea butter, I just use mango butter. Like a lower amount of carry oils and beeswax, so that it's not like a super stronghold, but it's a fairly stronghold. I like the stronghold ones to kind of keep it, fixed for the day. So
yeah,
but yeah, that's it. The products waiting to go.
Andy, we when we were talking like before we started recording, you mentioned you want to do a little quick rapid fire question period. You wanna hop into that now?
You know what? I think I went through them all earlier on.
You got them all? Perfect. Sweet.
Pretty much, yeah. I was gonna do a few rapid fires. Like one was top tips for cheap beard care.
Yeah, we hit that one.
We all answered that. Really good. I was actually going to ask you, what's the best way to convince your girlfriend that a beard is a good idea? But you told us straight in there.
Yeah.
Just get her in there. I was like, future plans, told us about that.
Yeah,
one of them was, what's your pet hates about the beard industry? What are the things that really rile you up about the beard industry?
Okay. What was the slang you called it?
Pet hate.
Okay, so we call it pet peeves.
Yeah.
Pet peeves. Yeah.
All right. So pet peeves about the like from the company side.
From any side.
From any side.
Probably the company side we'll go with.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me think here. Pet peeves from the company side. Probably just, and we kind of touched on this earlier actually, is just owners where the company is their baby. So a large portion of them lose kind of perspective and oversight when it's their baby. Like, for example, there was a well-liked company and they weren't on my top, and I worked really well with them, but they weren't on my top butter video because they were not one of my top butters. I didn't like their butter. Still love the company, still love their oil, still love the owner. And the owner got so upset with me. Well, this is, and like commented on the video and was like, wow, this is a really nice personal list of yours. Great job. And it's like, yeah,
I think I saw that comment. Yep.
Yeah. Like this is my channel. Like all I can do is my personal list. If I put you on there because other people liked it, that wouldn't be like true and fair. Got like, and they just get super upset about things like that. And it's like, the great owners are like, hey man, great list. I can't wait to try and make it next year and stuff like that. But there's so much sensitivity, and I get it. I fully get it. It's their baby. They put so much into this. But I think sometimes the artist takes over more than the entrepreneur. And I think as running a business, you need to have more of that entrepreneur mindset rather than just like the artist mindset.
Exactly. I think a lot of time people forget that they're asking a reviewer to do a review. It's kind of, it says what it is on the front of the tin. Like you're a reviewer, you review it. It's open, honest, real reviews, and you give open, honest feedback. And I mean, it's not just this industry, but it's most businesses and industry in the world. It's hard. Some people find it really hard to take feedback. Feedback is taken as a personal attack rather than something to help you grow and become better. You know what I mean?
For sure. And there's different aspects of life that I think help prepare. As a teacher, we are by law evaluated on so many points every year. So all I'm doing is being reviewed at all times. And same, I'm sure Alex can speak to it. When you're in martial arts, your every single session is a review, and you're being told what you're doing wrong and what you can do better. And you learn how to take those criticisms. But oftentimes artists grow up and they're not criticized because you're told you can't criticize someone's art. You know, it's all beautiful. It's different. And so I think that often leads to companies having those sensitivities. But if they were a practitioner of martial arts, if they were in a field where they were being judged more often, I think that would help that perspective.
I think a lot of times what happens too is people that are experiencing some sort of success, whether it's an artist or a company, you're surrounded by a lot of people that are fluffing you. So they're not used to honest critique of what's going on here. So like I said, whoa, what are you talking about? Everybody else loves me. You don't love me, you know?
Yeah, in that company where they didn't make the butter list, they like somehow, and this is still a good company. I still like them. I get the perspective. I get it. I know it was their baby and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
But they like
yeah.
sent their army after the video. It's like, they didn't make the list. They didn't make the list. This butter's amazing. They didn't make the, and I'm like, I know what you're doing. And exactly, those people surround them at all times and tell them it's the greatest thing that's ever been made, because it's probably someone that gets a little bit of attention from an owner that's never had attention before. So yeah, that's.
I think we all know a certain company a little bit like that. But anyway.
Yeah. Not to name names,
Actually,
but
it's really interesting you made that comparison to martial arts. I mean, I've done different martial arts in my life, but I think my favorite one ever is not only because it's the best martial art in my opinion, it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's because of the way you develop throughout it. It's not only are you gaining confidence and getting good at what you're doing, but on a daily basis, you're getting humbled. You're tapping out on a daily basis, and you understand that you're constantly learning and constantly improving. And it allows you to, like, when I get tapped out in jiu-jitsu, I'm like, oh shit, that was fucking amazing. I want to learn that. That's so good.
Yep.
You take it as an instant learning, a learning experience, and you're not defensive over it. Your ego doesn't get involved. And I think it's a perfect comparison if you look at like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to pretty much anything in life where you have to learn and embrace it and get better. But
And understand there's levels to things, right? That's how life works. And I think we're told so much today in the society that everybody deserves a trophy and stuff. It's okay to acknowledge there's things better than you, right? And something like being a teacher and being evaluated, like being in martial arts, it throws it in your face that there's people that are better than you, and that's okay. Exactly. And it's to work towards it. So yeah, that's so to circle it back to the question, that's probably my biggest pet peeve, is that baby aspect, the artist aspect, the fluffing, as Alex said, the yes men that are out there. That makes it tough, especially when it's coming from like, well, we had 7 other reviews, and it's like, well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot to it, because there's a process of being a reviewer. When you start being a reviewer, you get that first company that reaches out to you, and you feel amazing, right? I don't know anybody that has the first company that reaches out to them that's going to give a negative review. They feel on top of the world. Their mind is clouded forever on that company, you know? And so there's companies that will start out by going to those people, and they know they're going to get that thing. Like they know they're going to make that person feel special, you know? So they know they go there. And then by the time they've worked up to me, they've had all these great reviews and stuff, and now I'm the jerk that has to go against the grain and say that I don't like it. And so, yeah, exactly. There's levels to it.
Yeah, definitely, man. So another one, quick fire. What is your favorite scent of any beard product you've used? You want like a specific one, or you want like a family, a category? Let's go with actual product and brand, and then also in general, what's your specific, like, one of like any essential oil or any fragrance oil? What is your one specific scent as well?
Okay, so my favorite of all time is Ginger Jamboree by Beard Octane. It's my collaboration with them. You literally smell carbonation in there. It's like lemon lime with like fruit punch, and you throw some sherbet in there. It's an amazing scent, and I don't know how to describe it, but you can actually smell like the bubbles. You can smell carbonation. It's so refreshing.
Yeah.
And my number one kind of scent family is really a tie between citrus and like menthol. Like I really love invigorating, opening up, clean scents. I do not like anything alcohol based. I don't like smoke. I don't like anything that's in that kind of family. There are some tobaccos that I think can be done really well, but I'm just usually not a fan of smoky things. I don't like things to smell like bourbon or whiskey or IPAs. That's not what I want my beard smelling like. And
that makes sense.
Lately, I've been on a kick of disliking of sandalwood. That one's been driving me crazy, and I know a lot of people love sandalwood, but I've just been I just can't do it lately. I don't know why.
It's maybe one of those ones that's been a bit overused. I mean, I don't know a company that, I don't think I can think of a company that hasn't used.
Right.
Right. You know, everyone's got at least one scent, including me, hands up, that's got sandalwood in it.
in
That's the
my
anthem.
profile, I kind of get criticized for it because I like the more like lighter, fresher, sweeter type scents. I'm not huge into like real dark, manly ones, which there is a huge market out there for that. And so people like, if I like a scent, obviously it's going to get hyped up and stuff, and people will be like, "Oh, you just don't like it." And it's like I can only like what I like, you know. So
True.
I
Yep.
Exactly, yeah.
yeah, I'm a minty
And
menthol.
that must be a
citrus.
hard thing for you. That must be a hard thing for you as well, because like you like what you like, but a lot of companies come at you and they're like, see, you are the be all and end all of beard products. If you don't like it, oh my God, my product must be shit. But
Literally.
like,
And it's a hard balance to walk. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not good. Like,
I
I
know.
just don't, it's not to my personal preference. I mean, that's what I get sometimes as well. It's like,
For sure.
I don't
Well,
like it.
we live in a society where like marketing and businesses they feel that they can tell you what you like. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, they try to force down your throat. Well, no, you have to like sandalwood.
Right.
Sandalwood is amazing.
Are
How
you
can
a
you
man?
not like sandalwood? What's wrong with you?
Why do you not like that?
Yeah. Are you a man? Men like sandalwood. Yeah.
Yeah. Funny. Okay, good one. What's the worst product you've ever used?
Oh man. So I'll give you one relative to you guys, and then I'll go from worse from there. I tried a company, and I genuinely don't remember the name, but I tried a company out of the UK. They were in these like plastic, like square bottles, and it had like a spray pump top, not like a pump top, but like one where it's like a mister, you know, like. It had like a English gentleman type logo, like an old school guy looking all like dapper. And I think something gentleman was in the name. The guy was really pushy too, and made the review happen. And it was an early video, and it was awful.
Artius, no, not Artius Man. Not Artius Man. No, that's it. No, Arthur J. Hawke.
Nope.
No?
I'll have to look for it later, but it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. I think Sam in the video said it smelled like vomit. It was bad. It was really, really bad. I was not a fan. It had like birchwood in it, had a couple other things, and the bottle was super cheap. I was just really put off by the company.
Yeah.
But the worst I've ever used is, oh man. I've had a couple that have been really, really bad. The Gillette Enrich was really bad. That was awful. I just used one recently. It's like a popular one in big box stores here, like TJ Maxx and Amazon and Marshalls and stuff. And it's called Arlo's. Theirs was really bad too. And then I had, I'm blanking tonight, but I had another one that was, it was a like barbershop company that started out in New York, and that was the one where the title was like the worst products ever touched my beard. And they paid for the review and everything, and I've still to this day have never heard back from them. They never contacted me after the video. I was like waiting for like weeks, like, oh, here it comes. But I think English was their second language, so
the worst one I've ever used is there's a massive shop here. It's called Superdrug. It's basically our equivalent of the pharmacy in Walmart, like just the pharmacy. But there's a whole shop called Superdrug. I mean, just the name, Superdrug. So Superdrug did their own brand of beard oil.
Oh. No.
Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
It was. You'd be better off just going wiping your beard in your frying pan after you've cooked some food. Like it was so bad. No good. And
maybe they've gotten better, but this is over 2 years ago, and I probably shouldn't even say it, but just said it was pretty bad. It was UK beard company, and the name was Manly Beard.
Oh.
I don't know if they're still around or not.
It was the equivalent of gas station sushi.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Nah, not a good idea.
And that's funny enough. It was the video. We made a video announcing that we were now accepting affiliates and making money off the channel and stuff, because I was always transparent. And it's the video before that. It was a good one, I guess, to go into the affiliate video.
Awesome.
That's my question done. That's it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, out of like worst products I've tried, gotta go Midas. I've been pretty I've talked to Andy about that a lot. I'm gonna be reviewing them. By the time this is out, I'll have done a review.
Yeah, there was a negative review on them today.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep. Yeah.
I'll give them one thing. I mean, yeah, it's an Alibaba special, but I do really I do really like the brush. I mean, it's really good. The Boss brush is good. It's like, it's really kind of stiff. It's good, but it's curved. Yeah. But I mean, that's like saying, you know, a car brand's kind of shit, but I really like the seats they've got in the car. Like, it doesn't drive well. You know. Yeah. The oil.
They've reached out to me as well. When they message you guys, do they refer to you as King? Because they call me King.
Yeah. King. Okay. Hello, King. Yep. Hi, King.
Hello, King. Dan. Yep.
There's the fluffing. There's the fluffing.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll send you. I think Andy has the screenshot already, but I'll send it to Dan. I'll pass it on to you and Alex. They're like, hi. Like, start off real friendly. Like, hi, King. We'd like you to. Like, really excited for your review, and then they're like, can you push it back a little bit so that we can send you a sample of our new formulation that we're currently working on? I was like, I'm still gonna review it, and then if you want to still send me the other one down the road, because it's coming from the UK. Like, this stuff took like friggin' weeks to get here, so it's like I don't want to delay the review by like weeks because I want to say my piece.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, so I'm part of another thing, so it's Bearded Bear Reviews. Me and three other guys now. We started off doing just reviews on products, and we kind of set a standard early days. We only want to review companies that are actually CPSR tested, and it's not so much because we give a shit what's going on our skin or our beard. It's more to protect the cup. We want to help the UK bearded community grow. Yeah. And I think the way to do that is by doing it properly, like legally, making sure that we have a good reputation, making sure that, you know, people are buying products that are tested. Yep. So when he first approached us, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do a review. Yeah, great. And I said, have you got CPSR tested? He's like, no. I was like, okay, cool. To be honest with you, I'd love to do a review, but I can't do it until you get your tested. And he didn't know anything about it. So I told him about it. I told him why you should have it. What's the importance of doing it? And also the main thing was to protect him. Like, if you give your product to someone and they have a bad reaction and you don't have CPSR,
it's a problem.
Business insurance is invalid. You know, it means nothing, and you're going to get fucked. You're going to get really fucked. And he was just like, yeah, well, I'll chance it, whatever. And I was like, well, okay. Who are you going to do? Yikes. I don't really want to review it. I'm sorry. You know, it's not no bad blood, no ill will, but I just don't really want to. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, and this with Midas, like, I feel like reading their scent profile, it's nothing like what it smells like. Like when I actually smell it.
No, it smells like soap. You
got that too. Yeah. It's like it's
strange.
Gross soap. Yeah.
And where are they out of?
The UK.
It's South London. It's like Kent, just south of London. It's just one guy. It's a company. He's only got one scent. He hasn't, which doesn't make sense either, because if you're going to get testing, you get like 6 variants. So you get 6. So if you're going to pay for testing, you get 6 scent variants. So you would, you know, make more sense. But I don't know. It's a bit. He's put so much effort into the packaging. Like it comes in a gold. It looks like a shisha house. It's like super like gold draped curtains kind of style. He's put a lot of effort into it, you can tell, like the packaging, but it's a shame he hasn't put the effort into the actual product itself, because it's not.
It's got like a fabric like inside, and and then it comes with like a little like fabric pouch for the oil, and it's like, and I have that written in my review. Like, it's great packaging.
It gives you it comes with a little gold badge, like, you know, like when you're wearing a blazer and you got like a little pin badge.
Little pin, that's
it
cool.
Comes with one of those, like just to show everyone you're wearing Midas beard oil. But it's a shame he's put a lot of effort and he's put money. I mean, like if you look at his gross profit margins, it's not going to be great because the amount of money he's put into all the packaging.
Yeah, I think that
perception is reality, man. You know, so a lot of people are going to buy it just based off the look, and you know, because he calls you king online. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Yeah, no.
The problem is it's not going to get much repeat customers, I don't think.
No way.
Way to crush my dreams, Alex. I thought I was unique.
Sorry, you got the members only pin. I got the members only pin too.
Yep.
No, he did not agree to a review, so I haven't tried him.
Yeah, it's not worth it. And like I've talked to other reviewers that just got them sent to them, but my dumbass paid for it. It's like, and that makes it so much worse. Like,
oh yeah.
Like
it's like twice the price of most beard oils as well.
Yeah, it's like 35 like
25 pounds.
No, it's like 35 Canadian, which is I think it's like 15 or 20 pounds, something like that. And it's like,
mate, you paid for that badge.
Yeah, that money's got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Makes me mad even just looking at the stupid stuff. Yeah. Reviewing that, and it's not going to be fun. And like, it's funny, since I put out a teaser video recently on Instagram, and ever since then they've literally been watching every move, like every Instagram story I put up, they watch them all. Whereas like after I got after a couple weeks of like getting the products, nothing from them. And then I put that out, and then like got that message like, can you delay your review a little bit? I was like, all right, I see what's going on.
Yeah. Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
I mean, I have people, once they send it to me, they obsess over it and message me every day. How's it going? How do you like it? What do you think? What do you think? And I'm like, I'm reviewing it. Like, let me
relax.
You know when you go to a restaurant and you sit down and eat your food, and the waiter's like right in there going,
right.
Yep.
You like it? How's it going?
Chef's around the corner.
Yeah. How did that steak taste?
Yeah.
Want some more salt?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Yeah.
Yeah.
For every bad experience an owner out there, there's probably two great ones.
Oh,
too.
for sure.
It's been awesome. There's been so many cool companies, and I love it. One of my bummers in the game is when I see a company that has it, right? There's like an X factor that you can't teach, right? Just knowing perspective and having the talent, but they lack the like funding. Man, it kills me when I see that, because it genuinely takes money to make money. It really does, especially in that sphere. And
sure.
I know companies are failing before they even begin because they don't have the ability. And I hate seeing that, because it's hard when you don't have when you don't have the money to get going, to try and turn any profit to put it back into your company is very, very difficult, because you're ordering small scale things, right? You're ordering stuff that costs more, and you're fighting every dollar and every sale and every return and stuff. But that one kills. That one breaks my heart when I see that.
Appreciate the quiet, bro. I'm broke.
Yeah.
I was waiting for this packaging, like, please hurry up.
Yep.
And
but
when it
will
arrives,
pay off in the end.
Yeah, totally. When it arrives, you'll have to do some kind of like funny like skit for like even just like an Instagram story. That'd be
oh yeah, I mean, I'll do some like thing of me praying to the postman, please.
Yep.
Going and giving the postman a big cuddle and kissing him.
You take him out to dinner, you sit him down, put a bib around his neck, give him up.
Pull his mask up to feed him.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, man.
Dan, I got a question for you about content creation, man. So the beard, what you specialize in is a semi-niche market, but at the same time, there's so many people trying to get on it and be, it's semi-saturated right now.
Yep.
What I have found is, and I'm nowhere near as big as like other guys on Instagram and on YouTube and stuff like that, but what I have found is like it's not one like video or something that goes viral. It's like anything else. It's an accumulation of things like over time, just consistently good content. Do you find that as well? I mean, it's like you didn't have like one video that like really hit and blew up for you. It was like just consistently just grinding and putting out the like good content.
Yeah, 100%. If you go back and scroll through my videos, like look at the last month, look at the last 2 months, I don't have like huge bangers, but they're pretty dang consistent. I know what I'm going to get. I know on the series, different series where they're going to land. And yeah, it's about consistency. With content creators, there's far more people that fall off than that stay, and it's mainly because they don't get that instant gratification. They think they're going to go viral, and then when it doesn't happen, they get mad at me. They're like, why does he have these views? Why does he got those viewers and stuff? And then they get pissed at the system, and then they drop out. But it genuinely is about that consistency. I've seen guys that don't have it, right? I'm big on it. There's something that you can't teach, and you can see it almost immediately the first time you start talking to somebody. But I've seen guys that don't have it that are doing really well because they've been grinding for 2 years. They've been making content, and they've been staying true to themselves. Even if they don't have this electric personality or this super unique style, they've grown like a following. They've grown a friendship. They've grown a support system, and they're doing well. There's guys with 1,000, 2,000 subscribers just because they've just been grinding it. And yeah, there's a low chance of a viral video in the beard niche. We're not going to have some comedy that randomly fires up, and other areas like something can strike with the algorithm. Like I've seen videos blow up that are 6 years old because Joe Rogan talks about a random topic, and then that topic comes back up, right? That's probably not happening to us. So it truly is about that consistency. They want to know that you're there. There was a guy, that was a good example. He came out of the gates blazing, and his name was the Beard Farmer. He's got super good quality, really great camera presence, and his videos blew up, but then he just stopped. He just isn't there. He hasn't made a video in probably 2 years. So it's about consistency. Like that's a huge thing. I've had videos recently that have topped Scuba on the same day, mainly because he has not been consistent. He is building a house right now. He's just kind of burned out a little bit, and so that affects you whether you have 200,000 subscribers or you have 200 subscribers. Not only with your base and your following, but YouTube rewards consistency. They like to plug that. They want people to tune into YouTube like it's a TV show. They know every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, 8 a.m., they can come onto my channel, and there's going to be a video no matter what's going on. And so, yes, to the millionth degree, consistency is so much more important.
And also, don't mention politics because YouTube will fuck you.
Yes. Well, I have 3 rules on my channel, whether it's my live streams or my beard community on Facebook. No politics, no religion, and no Star Wars. So we don't talk about any of those things. So in the first two,
I think the Star Wars rule was one I've recently taken on board because it's just become shit. I used to love it, not anymore.
And that one's mainly just to like cut the tension, right? We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion, Star Wars, because people do get passionate about Star Wars, so it's kind of funny to like play on that and stuff. Nope, I don't touch on any of that stuff, and really, it's just nobody else's business. We don't. There's no win in discussing religion on YouTube. There's no win in discussing politics. Like you're not changing anybody's mind. So
you're just shouting at a wall. You're literally shouting at a wall.
It's
true.
So,
it's not gonna. It's the same here. I think we'd I'd say football, but soccer in the UK. No soccer.
All right. Yeah, I rarely mention that I'm a big Chelsea fan.
Oh yeah. Keep that off this podcast. Honestly, like I don't even follow football. Soccer. I haven't followed it since I was about 10 years. I got into rugby, then I got into martial arts, and when I got into martial arts, I forgot everything else. That's all I care about. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Great question. And that's so important. That's the one thing that most people don't see when they get started. When content creators get started, they fall in love with it. The first month, 2 months, 3 months, they're like, this is amazing. I can make videos forever. I'm going to bang these out. And then again, they don't get that instant success. And they're like, shoot, I don't know if I really want to make it today, because I got 50 views on my last video. And then their consistency falls off. Then it becomes real infrequent. They take 2 or 3 months off. They come back. They got this renewed thought that they miss it, and then they repeat the same process again.
Yeah. Well, it's like most things in life, like when it comes to fitness and training and stuff. Again, how you do one thing is how you do everything. most people rely on motivation over discipline. So they want to do it while they're motivated instead of being disciplined and just keep cranking it out, man. You got to keep cranking it out.
Yep. External over internal. You got to have that intrinsic motivation, right? There's no one telling me to make videos. My wife has never had to be like, hey, did you make the video for this week? Hey, did you get this taken care of? You got to have it for yourself. And it's not even it's not like, it's not even a thought. It has to happen. You know, it just,
Gotta get done.
David Goggins, that shit. No motivation. Right. Just do it. Just do it. Make it happen. Yeah. I finished reading this book about a month ago. Oh, so
good.
God. Oh my God. It's
from
insane.
Being that fat kid that couldn't go run to, oh yeah, man, so good.
Yeah, I love it. One of the best books I've ever read.
Yep. No, that's a great one.
Anyway, guys, it is 5 a.m.
I was just gonna say, probably.
Wow.
We're going on 3 hours and 40 minutes since we started this Zoom call.
Time flies when you're talking beards, you know what I'm saying?
That's true. 100%. That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, thanks all you guys for coming on. So much fun. And it was epic that we finally got Andy, Alex, Adam, and I all on Zoom at the same time.
I know.
Hasn't happened since
it took Dan Bearded for it to happen.
Yep.
It just brings that energy, man. He's got that vortex. We just gravitate. You know?
Yep.
Don't talk about my weight. I'm proud. Andy, how tall are you?
6 foot.
Okay, all right. I thought you were taller.
Not too tall.
How much do you weigh?
Right now I'm 104 kilos.
I don't know what the hell that means.
Yeah, same.
Multiply that by 2.2.
Okay. All right, 104, 2.2. We're about the same. So I'm 220.
Yeah.
Walking around weight. If I need cut, I can.
Yeah.
What did you multiply it out?
228.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. You're the largest human here, I bet.
Oh yeah.
I'm a bit of a fat bastard at the moment. I've only just started back at the gym the last month, and I'm loving it. Loving it. It's nice to be back. So, but my goal is to get back to the martial arts. But eventually, I've got a herniated disc, and I'm a fat bastard. So eventually, I'll get back there. But at the moment, just a bit of weightlifting's fine for me at the moment. So
there you go.
For sure.
But yeah, thank you guys for having me. This was an absolute blast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, much love, guys. Thank you. It was a pleasure. Everybody be blessed. Have a good night. I'm gonna go tell my little girl good night. So I'm get out of here.
For sure.
All right.
Amazing, guys. And for me, guys, thanks so much. It's been awesome. It's been really good. I've learned a lot. It's been awesome.
For sure.
You know? It's been awesome. Thanks a
lot,
guys.
Me anytime, guys. Truly.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll
much appreciated, bro.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, so
peace out, bro.
Thanks everybody for watching. Dan C's links down below. Beard Tings link down below. Alex Instagram link down below. All that kind of stuff. Check him out. Show him some love, and we'll be back more soon. Peace out.
All right, bye guys.